Shanks really just abandoned his kid.
That's crazy.
It'd
That
be
shit
like
is-
that.
hey,
why
come on, man.
That's why he got Yasop on the crew, bro.
That's why he
Deadbeat.
got a bunch of people that have abandoned their children. Just
Yeah.
on. That's what the redhead
Deadbeat
pirates
crew,
are.
Yeah. God damn it.
Wait, Toad, do you know if it's coming to Australia? Have they said?
They haven't mentioned when yet, but when Stampede came out, it came out a month after Japan, like in September.
Oh, okay. That's not too
Because
bad.
I remember Stampede came out in August during the year it came out as well, and there was like a convention, like an anime convention in our city, and they had like the premiere at the convention. So
Oh, okay. That's
I
cool.
think Arthur, like Library of or whatever his name is, he mentioned that it was in fall for Australia. So that's like September, October, November time. So we'll
actually, fall is in like March, April, May. Isn't
I guess
it?
like America
'Cause we have the
fall.
flip seasons.
Yeah, I guess America fall is like our September, October, November time.
Bro, if
so
we had to wait that long, bro, I'd read the spoilers too.
I'm gonna read them right now, live on the podcast. We're gonna
It's
check
crazy
it.
that France gets it in 2 weeks. That's pretty insane.
Right? Oh,
Yeah.
France is like
Crazy.
France love their One Piece.
These Frenchies, man.
That's it. Maniac's gonna go and get the film spoilers.
Brother, I'm gonna spoil everyone right now.
Don't hit
Uta
up Tower Corner.
is Shanks' daughter.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
damn
it.
Bro.
God, everyone's like, I'm not.
He
I'm
really
out.
said
I'm not.
it.
Yeah, bro. I'm not watching that shit, man.
Yeah, bro. It'd be like that sometimes, man.
Oh my god. This guy right here.
We're just all gonna watch the One Piece live stream in the background today because I'm kind of down.
I have no idea how long it goes for.
This guy's popping off with the We Are as well. He like dance around some figures. It'd be like that.
Make sure he doesn't kick it.
That's what I'm waiting for him to just yeet. Send one of them. Them shit's expensive too.
So if it's Chopper, he can punt it.
Oh please, I beg of you, send that away.
I mean, we can't kick Chopper today because we have Boris here.
Oh right.
Oh,
Chopper's his favorite.
Yeah, actually, he talked about Chopper in his interview with I don't know if you've seen the tweets about it today.
Yeah.
It was actually pretty interesting.
it must have been a good interview because
Like he didn't want to make Chopper a mascot character, but after seeing how cute the voice actor's voice was, he's like, okay, we can make it a mascot.
Yeah, exactly.
full
Yeah.
redesign and everything. Man, full
Right.
redesign Chopper completely. Like, come on, dog.
Yeah, I missed the free time skip Chopper design, man. That's so good.
That's the true one.
Yeah, that's one.
Hell yeah.
Indeed. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the next episode of Good Great Perfect Podcast. The reason I said next episode is I didn't even know what episode we're up to again. 72. There we go. Go me, I suppose. Mate, don't you dare, bro. You didn't even know what day of the week it is, Flame.
Chill out.
Hey, at least he's awake for this one.
Hey, true. He's here.
Nah, that's high key.
But enough of us. We got a special guest on today.
We did.
The always lovely, the always amazing, the true OG of the cruise. It's Boris. What's going on, Boris?
Hey, what's up, guys? Good to be back. It's been
He's
a while.
back.
Yeah, we'll talk about some AX, Anime Expo, and some other stuff. So
some fun. We're just gonna roll with it. So I don't know if Boris is aware of our new podcast platform. Basically, every second episode is just a whatever episode. So it's not about Treasure Cruise. It's just about chatting about whatever it is. So that's why we had Boris and Flame. They attended AX. I went to Smash on last weekend. Yeah, Smash Con. And then I don't know, the rest of the gang's here as well. We got the usual suspects.
I'm going to a convention later this year.
You on a Crunchyroll, are you? Or you going?
Yeah,
to
I'm
PAX?
going to the Crunchyroll Expo.
Crunchyroll one.
Yeah.
Night. What anime convention are you going to?
no, I'm not a damn weeb.
I'm
joking.
I respect it. But we're all here. The gang, the usual suspects have arrived, and we're just here to chat about life. Boris, what's been going on? Catch us up. I know there's a lot of things happening in your life. Catch us up. Catch the fans
Okay.
up. What's happening? What's been happening?
Where was I last time I was on the pod? I think
You
was I
were-
still in Japan?
Are you either still in Japan or you just come back from Japan? I think
Yeah, I
one
think
of the
it was
two.
right before. Yeah, so pretty much and I want to pretty much let's see. I was in Japan. I was teaching English, having a good old time. And then, pandemic happened. Try not to get video demonetized right away. But yeah, so that happened. So I decided to move back. So I think that was right when everything started, and then I was trying to figure out what to do. So I ended up doing a coding boot camp. It was about 4 months, and then from there another 3 or 4 months of jobs hunting, and then I ended up landing pretty nice job at a tech company, and I've been there a little bit over a year now. So
Wow.
Hell
just
yeah.
been doing the 9 to 5 kind of grind.
Yes, sir.
Pretty lucky. Yeah, got a nice job, got a nice boss, nice hours. So
And
really,
what kind
really
of
nice.
what kind of job does that entail? Like, is it software development or is it like debugging?
Yeah, it's interesting because and I guess this is where it'll tie into the podcast. One of the things that they liked about me when I was interviewing for this role was that I had to put my YouTube channel on my resume.
Yeah, of course.
Let's
Um,
go.
Oh shit.
yeah, because I was like, well, and then they also liked that I taught in Japan, because
Mm.
this role is it's kind of a mix between a developer role and kind of like a we have to talk to different stakeholders every
Mm.
day, so
Okay.
communication's a big deal,
Yeah.
and they really like that. So, yeah, I'd say it's not a full developer job. Like I'm not sitting there and coding all day. Do a little bit of coding, nothing too complicated. Mainly working on documentation
Yep.
for
Mm.
for if everyone knows what an API is, essentially
Yep.
we work on
Yep.
documentation for that, and then we just facilitate other integrations between providers, our company, and it's a really, really interesting job. Every day is different, and I've
Cool.
been having a great time.
That sounds like the life. I might need to get you to get me a job there. That's like my dream, pretty much. It sounds great.
Yeah. I think they might actually have an office in
All
Australia.
right.
It's a big company. It's a big company. That's all I'm
All right,
saying,
we'll talk. We'll talk on the low. We'll talk in the
Bandai
DMs.
Namco.
Yeah, Boris is actually the global producer for One Piece
He's
Treasure
the
Cruise.
actual
This is-
Bandai spy.
This is where we announce it today. As a matter of fact, it's the announcement episode. No, that's really good. I think that what you've done, like your pivot was really sick, because I feel like it would have been super tough in your position to have had
Yeah.
this
for sure.
dream to like go to Japan, teach in Japan, and then have that kind of thwarted away, and then like kind of like what do you do next? Like it's a very tough.
Yeah, there was
way to
definitely
go.
a period where I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like I'm back home in the US. I don't really have too many marketable job skills. I do have a degree, which is good.
Mm.
Yeah.
But yeah, it took a few months to kind of figure out what I was wanting to do, and when I did, I just focused on that. That's kind of why I stopped making videos, and then
Yeah.
I was planning to come back, but I ended up losing my Treasure Cruise account, and then there I kind of just it was really okay. I have a lot more free time now that I'm not grinding Treasure Mode and Kizuna, and I didn't. I was really enjoying the game, but I ended up kind of just you know putting it out to the side, and I just kind of never went back to it. So.
Yeah.
Well, I think you've done a pretty decent job from that point onwards, to be honest. Sounds like you're doing pretty well.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, pretty lucky to have landed that job, and just hoping to inspire other people who kind
Yeah.
of maybe feel like they're stuck and don't know what to do. So if you ever have any questions about coding, boot camps, job interviews, just reach out to me, and I'm always down to help people out. So
There we go.
Hell
Nice.
yeah.
Now, this is where we start marketing you as a consultant for job hiring, and then you make more money off that. See, it's always the business mindset with me. I think that's like it's very important, because I know all of us here have kind of Brad Todd as well, pretty much. Like all of us here, like kind of like we all graduated and we're like moving in. Or like I think Knight's almost done. I think you're done this year, aren't you, Knight?
Yeah, I'm finishing up my last semester.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like we're all moving into jobs and like different positions. I know Flame recently landed a new gig. I've got a new gig. Todd's still making Treasure Cruise videos, so he's got a new gig. It's definitely like I think there's been a shift amongst all of us as well. No, but I saw your journey, and I still remember that tweet with you with the MacBook. and you're like, like
Yeah.
this is the very start of it, right? And I was like, let's see where this goes. I was just following intently, and I think it's really like reassuring that like, if you're able to go into this 4-month boot camp and get out of it with and obviously you said you took 4 more months as well to find a
Yeah,
job, so nothing's guaranteed, of
yeah,
course,
it
but
was a lot of planning. Like I had set myself pretty much 6 to 8 months to search for a job because what you'll find out is getting that first job is the most difficult part. And then
totally,
Mm.
once you land that first job, then from there things kind of like I think I got another email this morning about trying to recruit. So
yeah.
They're
getting that
trying to
first job
snatch you
is
up.
yeah, trying to poach
Have
me,
you
But
do you want to get into what the boot camp was like? Because I think when people hear like coding boot camp, they probably have a bunch of different like opinions or ideas of what it would be. So do you mind getting into what the boot
yeah, no
camp's about?
problem. Yeah, essentially it was a full stack, which full stack is just fancy for saying it kind of covers all of the aspects of software engineering, and the main two being front end, where that's where you kind of design what the user will see when they go to your website. So you focus on what color is the text and
Mm.
how to position this box, and um,
Hmm.
there's that aspect to it, and then there's the backend aspect, which is what the user doesn't
Mm.
see. So it's all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. Front end again is more kind of design in a sense because you have to kind of know like how to move things around and place things, and then backend is all pretty much just kind of a little bit more math based, a little more analytical based,
Mm.
Mhm.
because and it's more abstract because you're not seeing it as you're working on it.
Yep.
So that's the full stack essentially is when you combine those two. And it was just 4 months of kind of like a full time. Wake up. I think it started around 10 a.m. and we'd go until 5. It's just teacher would start with a lesson. I had a really good teacher, which I think was really good
Hundred
because
percent.
each
Hundred
person
percent.
learns differently, and the way that I learned it matched perfectly with the way. He's very dry, but like straight to the point, not really joking around. He's just down to business, and like
Yeah.
this is exactly, especially if I'm paying because these boot camps are really expensive. So
Mm.
um, yeah, and yeah, then we had projects, and those are the most important part of the boot camp. So we had 3 group projects and then 1 individual project. And those are going to be what you put um, on your portfolio when you finish the boot
Yeah.
camp. And the portfolio really is what's going to carry you, especially if you don't have too much coding or if you don't have a CS background. You're going to need a strong portfolio to kind of carry you. So,
Mm.
yep.
Yeah, that was always the I feel like the difference in Australia and like the United States in terms of like landing one of those jobs. Like the portfolio seems like it's super important in America, but at least as far as I'm aware, portfolio isn't as important in Australia. Like I'm happy to be corrected in the comments or something, but like from like the jobs that I was trying to land and stuff, it was just about like Australia is very much like, yeah, you have the technical skill, but how well will you be able to handle like corporate life and like management of like interpersonal relationships, and like you said,
Mhm.
stakeholder engagement and stuff was super important in the Australian the Australian setting there. So but like I know I do, because like when I went to interviews for jobs and stuff as well, it is very much like, oh, so what have you used, what have you programmed in, but it's also like what kind of projects have you made. So it wasn't like a hard and fast you need a portfolio to display to like the interviewer, but it was more like, oh, at school or at uni I built this, or in my downtime I've attempted to do that. Just like the idea of like, I guess like being able to present your idea as opposed to actually having a finished product is super important in Australia, I feel, and I think that's
I
a
agree with the
difference.
whole like interpersonal relationship stuff. Like during university, they actually like obviously like knowing how to do the job is obviously important, but they really hampered on the fact that like communication was like a very big
Yeah,
vital component in terms
yeah.
of landing jobs.
No,
Yeah, no,
I
you
felt
definitely
that.
see that in all of tech. Essentially, is
Yeah.
those people who are able to communicate have a much easier time,
Mhm.
especially during the interview process, not just when you're getting asked some behavioral questions like tell us about your biggest achievement or a time you had to disagree with somebody on your team or something like that, but
Hmm.
Yeah.
also um, depending on if you're going to go for like a big company as a software engineer, you'll often have to do coding interviews,
Yeah,
like
that's right.
coding questions, and the better you can communicate with the interviewer as to what you're thinking about, the better you'll do. So
Yeah.
I mean, communications, it's the soft skills are very, very important, and they're really what going to separate and give you a leg up. Especially like you said, like I said earlier, like if I'm not coming from a CS degree, you need all the advantages you can get. So yeah, that's what
That
I
was
recommend is work on those
yeah.
soft skills.
That's what I always felt like. So I'm all right, I'm a humble brag. I've never failed an interview yet. Like that's how I'm very confident in my ability to sell myself, I think. And I always can. This might be like the wrong mantra to kind of come at things with, but like I've always gone into an interview and if they've asked me something, I'm more than confident in myself if I don't know what they're talking about, I just say, "No, I have no idea." But and then I start rambling on into something else. Like I sell them on that. Like they'll be like, "Oh, how's your technical proficiency?" And I guess I'd always approach the interview by saying, "Like, look, at the end of the day, I don't know if I'm as technically gifted as everyone else in this room, but I can guarantee you that I'll work harder than everyone else in here, and I'll be able to do a better job than everyone. I'll go in my own time, blah blah blah, and sell myself in that front there." And I feel like honesty is the best policy because I feel like they're in interviews or like seeking jobs, people do really lie about their proficiency, and sometimes you
Yeah.
have to. But
Yeah.
I
You
think
gotta
that
sell yourself out.
yeah, exactly. But I guess at times, I guess I took an opposite approach, and I was honest, but then I'd sell them on my work ethic and my ability to keep up, I suppose. And I think that it really, I think it does also come down to how you handle like in front of people and how you're able to talk about yourself. I think that that's also a super important skill in landing a job. Because it's one thing to be like a technically gifted like programmer that can whip up whatever they need to, but if you're unable to communicate or unable to talk about yourself, or like as Boris mentioned, like talk about your greatest achievements or where you had a conflict with somebody about something, like then the interview you're gonna fail it 100% because that's what they care about in the workplace environment. They don't really care about, they can find a good programmer anywhere, or they can hire,
Yeah.
they can outsource anywhere, but like they want you there as someone with proficiency in communication. I think that
like-
whole communication factor goes a little undersold.
And having just like a passion for it as well. Like if you like know that this is something that you want to pursue, and
Yep.
if you're like doing lots of stuff outside of school or study hours, and developing stuff all the time, that gives you an edge because you have more experience and you're developing more stuff.
Mhm.
And if you have the passion to do it, you're obviously going to feel more inclined to
Mhm.
do whatever you can to get in that kind of position. But yeah,
No,
depends on what you want to do.
the same thing goes for like making content, right? Like if
Anything, really.
if you want to get into a field of like graphic design or creative outlets and stuff, like having a YouTube channel or having like like an artist portfolio or whatever it is, like that's also super important, I feel, because being able to point to your YouTube channel and be like, oh yeah, I produce videos, but not only do I produce videos, I have skills in like search engine optimization. I know how the YouTube system works. I know how to make content. I know how to edit. I know, like, on my resume, it's the same thing as what Boris mentioned. I have GGP on my resume. It's on my LinkedIn as well. Because like if people ask about it, then I can point to it and say, yeah, well, because of GGP, I got to do this. I got to do that. I've also got management skills. Being able to like manage between people and create content, and on top of that, editing and producing and uploading and advertising and marketing. Like, whilst they're all very small subsets of skills within the realm of making a YouTube channel, they're all very important skills nonetheless, and you can sell yourself on those skills as well. So I think that one of the biggest bits of advice that I got, and like I'm still young, so like I took this advice really much to heart, because like I got the opportunity to talk to someone in where I work that is working the job that I kind of want to do in the future, and he mentioned to me, he's like, write the goal in terms of like write the job that you want to do, and then work backwards. So what are the positions or what are the things that you need to learn or complete in order to get to that job, and then use that as your stepping stones to get to where you want to be. And I always took that as at face value. And I've started now looking at, okay, well, if I want to be, so my end goal would be like an IT solution design expert. So like looking at problems and coming up with solutions is kind of my aspiration. And then I'm like, okay, well then how do I get to that? Well, I need to specialize in some sort of field. And then from that specialization, I probably need to look into something like a system analyst or business analyst kind of position. And how do I get to that? And you use that as a stepping stone.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
that's
no,
kind
I
of
mean,
the plan.
especially in tech, always got to keep up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never stop learning. So, there's always new technologies, new software. Even if you move to a different company, you might use completely different set of
Yep.
tools. So it's always a learning process. But some people like that. Some people like the challenge, or they just
Totally.
like new puzzles, new ways to do things. So yeah, I
There you go.
definitely recommend always trying to stay up to date. And yeah.
Well, there we go. That's your free lesson from the gang here. Your next lesson you're paying for. But
Yeah, $40, mate.
yeah,
Use code GGP 2022 on ZipRecruiter for a 15% discount for the
There we go,
Boris
there we
and
go.
GGP crew.
There we go. ZipRecruiter. There we go. We're waiting for the call up. Where's our sponsorship? That was a great ad read there for about 20 minutes or so. But Boris, how was Anime Expo? Tell me about the trip. Tell me how it went. What'd you think? What'd you do?
Yeah. Oh man, it was my first Anime Expo, so it's something that I've always wanted to go to. I've heard about Anime Expo for a long time. I know it's one of the longest running conventions, and I was talking to some people, and they say it's been going on for a long time. So I knew one year I had to make it out, and perks of having a job is being able to fly
Totally.
out and stuff, right? So I said, let's do it. Thankfully, I think you guys have had Rose, right, on the podcast
Yeah,
before.
that's right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so Rose, and he has a group down there that all super chill. Kind of decided to be I don't want to say tour guide, but like we were pretty much hanging out with them the whole weekend. And yeah, it was great. Definitely, you could tell it's the year of One Piece. Right away, as soon as you enter the exhibition hall, you just uh, you get to see like I think it was 3 or 4 Bandai booths, One Piece booths, huge Luffy in the main lobby, One Piece posters all over it. There was on the main convention center at the top. There was a big One Piece poster. Right in front of that was one of those like screens that go around the sides of the building. Those new
Mhm.
like screens, and so there was One Piece ads on there. Um, so many
Gee.
different things. There was raffles. There was trying out the new game. What's it called? One Piece Odyssey. A bunch of new figures you could buy. There was the card game. There was the panel, which was great. Just overall, it was just to give you a brief overview, that was amazing. It was definitely a year of One Piece, so that was awesome.
That's what we like to see.
Love that.
One Piece represent.
How's the?
Yeah,
how's
and
the
actually, one thing that they had said was that they went to last time it was AX before the pandemic. There was almost no One Piece. Like,
Mm.
even the panel barely filled up. Oh, they didn't. Yeah, I think it was like maybe like 30%. But this year, the One Piece panel filled up all the way. It was pretty crazy. So it
Good.
was a lot of energy for sure throughout the whole convention center.
Good. About time. Honestly, about time people woke up and smelled the roses about how great One Piece is. It's no, that's good. What was your favorite? What was your favorite exhibit, booth, stall, artist, anything of the sort there?
Yeah, did you buy anything?
Yeah,
I did. Yeah, I did.
haul? What was your haul? What did you buy?
So I bought the first thing that I kind of noticed that was kind of cool is they had a book off stand. So book off, you guys don't know, it's like a secondhand kind of store.
Yep.
Very popular in Japan. I mean, I would go to them all the time.
Mhm.
They do have, I think, 2 locations in New York.
Mm.
And they had a stand there where you're kind of just essentially it's out of box figures. And so every day they would restock, and the first thing I would do is like run down and see if they had anything new. So I picked up a few Chopper figures from there. The One Piece Odyssey, you got to try it out. I think it was like 20 to 30 minutes that you got to play. Super
Oh, nice.
fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the game. I don't know, Flame, were you able to try out the Odyssey?
No, I didn't. I didn't go down to that booth. I did want to, but I didn't have the time.
Yeah, it was a long demo. But I'm kind of excited for that game. I haven't really been excited for a One Piece game for a while. I know. I think what was the last one that came out? I'm
World
trying to remember.
Seeker.
World
Yeah, World
Seeker.
Seeker.
Yeah,
World
I know.
Seeker, yeah.
Rogers Base liked it, but I think
No,
some other people
please
didn't like it.
Please don't talk about World Seeker. I just get I just get like horrible flashbacks from that
Actually,
Todd stream.
Pirate Warriors 4 came out.
Oh yeah,
That was the
actually
last one.
true.
Yeah.
That was the last one.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I
Yeah, I think I
mean,
remember played Pirate Warriors 2.
Pirate Warriors are kind of that's a weird series. That one.
It is a very weird
Yeah.
series.
But no, yeah, I'm excited. Definitely gonna give Odyssey a chance.
Totally.
So it was interesting. It wasn't like a Fire Emblem, but the positioning does matter. And
It's like
you know,
turn-based, right?
yeah, it's turn-based.
Like
And
a
right away, I
Pokemon.
mean, I don't know if they unlocked every single move, but like I could go into I could go into Gear 2, Gear 3 as Luffy and do some attack. Animations were really cool. Um, I definitely feel like there's gonna be some strategy involved. And each member of the crew kind of had different like a different role, I guess, in what they could do.
So it's kind of
So
like Persona in terms of the gameplay, from what I've seen, or like Pokemon battles, just about.
Yep.
Interesting.
That's cool.
I'm down. I'm excited for that. I think that's gonna be a really cool
Yeah, I could
take
definitely
on,
give it a
on it.
shot.
100%.
I haven't been hearing much about it actually. Like no one's really talking about it. So I think it might be you know, definitely something I want to check out and um, you know, hopefully the demo, you know, gives it justice, you know,
Yeah.
how the game's gonna play out. So
Did you give the One Piece card game a try?
Oh.
I did, yeah. Yeah. I got the
Hell
demo
yeah.
deck. I got some demo packs. We can talk about that a little bit. I know that's kind of the big topic right now is the card game. I'm actually getting my two Japanese boxes in next week,
Yeah,
so
same.
I'm excited for that. I got the starter decks too.
Let's
Um,
go.
yeah, the game itself, it was super cool to be able to play it in person
Mm-hmm.
for the first time. The way it works, the way it worked is you could go to the demo area. Now the demo
Mhm.
area was in a different hall was the only problem. So all of the things I just talked about, those were in the exhibition hall. But then there was an entertainment hall on the other side of the convention center. So it was kind of far. Um, so I feel like a lot of people missed out on doing the demo because it was in a different part of the convention center.
Yeah.
But so I didn't even get to do it on day one. I had to do it day two.
Suppose you gotta
But
like find space for it.
yeah, yeah. And you would go up there, you schedule for a time. It was I want to say, let's see, there were like maybe 12 tables and it was 4 person, so maybe like around 50 people per wave.
Damn.
Um,
Okay.
so yeah, they would do it in waves. And you could if you didn't want to schedule, you could line up, and then if somebody didn't show up, it would put you in their spot.
Mm. Yep.
And then it was the demo deck. So the demo deck is exactly the same for everybody. It's made specifically for the demo, so like certain cards aren't in there. And so there was somebody who was reading instructions each turn. So look at your hand. Do you have this card? Then play it. If you don't, you know, kind of like that.
Mm.
So it was a very simple deck, but I'd say if there's anything about the game that I'm a little worried about is I feel like it might be a little too complex for new players.
Yeah,
Um,
I can see that.
yeah, I'd say there was definitely some. You know, it was just a demo, and we had to ask several questions as to how things worked.
Yeah.
Um, but I'd say
Yeah.
it's very similar to Dragon Ball Super when that
Yeah,
came
it's
out.
very, very similar to Dragon Ball. It has a lot of components of Digimon and Dragon Ball and kind of Magic in a way. It's yeah, it's kind of like a concoction of a bunch of different card games in one.
Yeah.
How I kind of see it. But the cards, like some of the original artwork that they have for the cards, looks so good.
Yeah, and so there was a promo pack, and funny enough, these starter decks on the first day of AX, you could put them on eBay for like $200. They were going for a lot of money. Yeah.
Oh my flame,
Or
flame.
you buy mine for 1,000 each. I got six.
Hey,
it might still be
man.
it might still be expensive because I think the next round is gonna be oh, they just announced it. Gen Con maybe? I'm not
Yeah, I
sure.
think you're right.
Yeah. But yeah, they were giving out the promo packs too. The way those work is you don't have to do the demo, you could just do a survey they had at the front of the line. And if you did the survey, you'd get a free pack.
Mm.
And then after the game, you could do another survey, a different one, and you would get a pack for that one as well. And the survey asked a lot of things, interesting things, like for example, what kind of art? Like you talking about Toad, like what kind of
Mm.
art would you like to see? And they give different options, like do you like manga art, original art, anime art, you know, kind of things like that. So it's interesting that they're taking the feedback already, right? You know, right away.
Yeah, I
So
suppose
before
they
the game
want to
even
make it
drops.
successful because I know that Digimon is a very successful card game from Bandai. So I think that if it's on the same levels of popularity as the One Piece card game as the Digimon one is, then it's gonna be fine, and it'll stick around for years to come.
Yeah, and Digimon came out during like right at the start of the pandemic, which
Exactly.
is crazy, right? And it's still going strong.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I am a little worried about One Piece, just, because again, it's always had that popularity issue, at least in the U.S.
Yeah.
But from what I've heard in Japan, the boxes are sold out. Like my friend can't find any in his area. So
Yeah, it's
yeah.
selling out pretty quick. And I mean, One Piece is a bigger IP than Digimon, so you think just for collectors, like the amount of collectors in that game would be more significant than the Digimon. And in terms of players, you would think that it would surpass Digimon, but it all comes down to the game itself and the meta and how that all evolves.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see where the game goes down the road. I feel like it could go one of two ways. Like they could do the Digimon route, or they could do the Dragon Ball route. Where I don't know if you've seen some of the Dragon Ball cards, but there's like some really really expensive, like
Yeah,
I think autographed cards or something like that that go for a lot of money. And then there's like the super extra extreme rare cards.
They know what
That's
they're
like
doing. They know what they're
yeah.
doing.
I'm not sure
They,
if Digimon does that though. I feel like they're kind of more standard. But I might
yes.
be wrong about that. I'm not sure, but
Right
And because I know
now
that you,
for
what was that, Night?
I just had a question. Like right now with like the what was it, the practice deck that you guys got to play with right now, is there like different like card types right now? Like there's like a certain like a Alvita, Kobe, and like Buggy like cards, and they're like a certain card type, and then there's like another one for like Luffy, Zoro, or whatever. Did it have that like established yet, or it's like
Yeah,
still up in the air if they're like doing stuff like that? Because I know that like Digimon has stuff like that.
yeah, they've got like colors, and each color kind of represents
Okay,
like a different faction. So like red at the moment is like Straw Hat related, and then you've got like
okay,
blue being warlords, um, and then green being supernovas, and like you've got like a Trafalgar Law character which is green for supernovas, and there's also a blue one for when he was a warlord. So there's like
yeah,
some overlap there. And then there's like the film starter deck that's coming out later, and they're like purple color, and like Kaido's crew's also purple color. So yeah, there's like different colors, and they all have different play styles as well.
okay.
gotcha. Okay,
Mm.
yeah, and the deck itself came. I think there was like a one. There was like I forget what it's called, like a not a stadium card, but like it was like the Sunny Go, I
Mm.
think, and you can put
Stage
it on
card,
the
yeah.
field. Stage card, yeah. So I think it had the stage card. Although I might be wrong, I'm trying to remember because I also have the Luffy deck now, so I'm trying to remember. But I remember there was one card that you could. So when you take when you take a point of life from your opponent,
Hmm.
they take the card from their life and add it to their hand, and that card could have like an effect
A
when
trigger.
it goes to your hand. Trigger, yeah. So I believe that there was a one trigger card. So every time we take a life, the guy would say, "Okay, now look at the card." And does it say? And I think it has like a different outline as well,
Hmm.
so you could tell right away. So yeah, I think it was. I don't remember if it was like the Frankie Radical Beam or something.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, and so
because I
there
know
were
that
like different cards, like different types as well.
you're a big fan of card games. I know you collect Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff. So
Yeah.
like, what kind of stuff do you collect in Yu-Gi-Oh for those people out there that are
Oh,
wondering?
yeah. Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm huge on the GX era, which is when I used to play
Nice.
competitively.
Get your
Actually,
game on.
That's what I'm saying.
yeah, I met my best friend playing locals back in the day during the GX era. So, and he was actually with me at AX actually, so it's kind of cool, kind of like a
Oh,
last minute
nice.
he got to go.
Nice.
Yeah, and so what I collect is actually I'm trying to get a master collection of every ultimate rare from that era and
Whoo!
secret rare in first edition. So I
Damn.
think I'm down
Oh,
to yeah. It's a big
So
challenge,
that's
but
why
actually I
Boris
made
got a job. That's why Boris got a job.
Just
that's
to
part of
complete
it.
his
Yeah,
master.
actually that's part of it. It was crazy. Every time I get a little bit of money, I would put it towards a card here and a card there.
Yeah,
And
totally.
so over the last few years, I've gotten I'm down I think around 50 cards left that I'm missing for my master set.
Wow.
So
okay.
wow.
those 50 cards are kind of some of them are pretty expensive. So
Oh yeah.
Spenny. Little
I'm gonna take
spenny.
my time. It's like a long-term project over the next maybe 5
Yeah,
years.
totally.
Try to finish it, and then yeah. But
So if you have 50 left, how many are there in total?
I have them all in this. I have a green binder here, like a big binder. I don't remember the exact number, but I think I want to say it was like over 400. So
Okay.
Jeez.
yeah,
Jeez.
yeah. Like some of the sets I have complete. So there's like a set called Cyber Dark Impact. I have that one complete. Right, Destiny complete. So some of the sets I have complete. Some of the sets I have like almost complete, and I'm missing like 1 or 2 cards.
Mm.
And then there's some sets like Cybernetic Revolution has Cyber Dragon. You know, like that's an iconic card.
Yeah.
Cyber End
Expensive.
Dragon. Those cards are really expensive in first edition. So
Yeah. So you
yeah.
probably have to get ones that are a bit more beat up.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm kind of also trying to get them in good condition, so
Right.
it's hard, but it's also I haven't really been buying too much this last year, so I'm kind of just been chilling. I'm pretty much gonna pay off my bootcamp loan next week, I
Hell
think.
yeah.
So yep,
Okay.
that's gonna be a big deal. So,
There
but
we
I've
go.
played every card game. I play the main one I actually play is Magic the Gathering. So I don't actually play Yu-Gi-Oh. I play the old Goat format with my friend, but I mainly play Magic the Gathering. And like you were saying, Toad, this has a lot of aspects of Magic the Gathering and the resource, right? The mana resource.
Yeah, the kind of like
Yeah.
lands.
Yep. Every turn you get Dawn. And I think again, when I was saying that there's a kind of might be a little confusing, is I think the Dawn system might be where new players might get a little confused or it might be a little overwhelming because
Mm.
there's a lot of different things than you can traditionally do with your resources. And I believe you get 2 Dawn every turn unless you go first. And that means
Right.
that by turn 5, you're gonna have all your Dawn. Like you're gonna have all 10 out on the field. So I feel like it might also be quick games as well. I don't know. We have to wait and see, but I think you've been playing actually, right? You've been play testing, Toad?
Yeah, me and a couple of friends have been playing on Tabletop Simulator, just trying to figure out what we want to do when it eventually comes out in terms of like what kind of decks we want to build. Because like we really want to get into the game and actually play it.
Mm.
And we've been testing the starter decks and stuff. And yeah, it's a fun game once you know what you're doing. But yeah, just getting over a couple of the hurdles at the start. But
Because
at least
the
there's a
Dawn,
feature
you can like
application
put
that's
them
good.
on your guys, and then you can
Yep.
put them back into the Dawn deck. So there's a lot of different things you can do with it. So it's gonna be interesting to see how it plays out.
Too complex
Yeah.
for me. Too
So
complex.
you could literally just like have all 10 of your Dawn, attach all of it to one character, and make him gain 10,000 power and attack with it.
Hey, that's too much. That's too powerful.
Yeah,
What do you think about Dawn as the name they use for the cards?
I think it's cool.
I could have definitely chosen something better than that.
Nah,
but
man, Don. You're a Donny. You're a top Donny. Nah, it's good. My friend bought. He got all 4 of the starter decks. They're coming in like 2 days, I think.
Hell
for
yeah.
him. So I'm keen to have a play around with it. But no, from everything you guys have talked about, it's way over my head. Like I'm not a card game guy myself, but like
Yeah.
I'm trying to fight the urge to collect it as well. Cause like I can't afford it, man. It's too expensive. But no, like it does look sick. So I'm looking forward to like watching content on it and just like playing it myself and stuff. So that's gonna be super fun.
Just saying that if you're thinking about picking up a starter deck, the strongest starter deck is blue or
blue
green.
one.
They're
Alright,
the 2 best decks.
I'll make sure I smoke him with
Yeah.
the blue deck.
He'll
real
pick
quick,
up
man.
Luffy or Kaido because they're the cool guys, but nah,
Nah,
pick
man.
up Crocodile's deck is so broken.
That's my goat right there, Croc. You know.
Yeah, he stay winning.
Well, good. I'm glad that the One Piece card game is looking promising though. We need that. I think One Piece now needs to just start inserting dominance.
I saw the alternate art Yamato card that's in like the actual booster box. I think it only just came out like yesterday in Japan, and it's selling for like $300 to $400.
Shit.
Oh damn, that's
All
crazy.
right,
Yeah,
I'm back
Jesus.
in. I'm back in. I need to make. Papa needs some money. You know what I'm saying? I need to pull me some Yamatos. Get them
Yeah.
shits graded. Oh days.
Stuff.
What's the Shanks going for?
I think it's because the thing about Shanks is that there's the secret rare Shanks, and then there's 2 alternate arts for Shanks. So
Right.
there's like one with manga artwork, or the alt arts have manga artwork, and then there's different backgrounds. So one of them is like his Jolly Roger in the background, and then there's a second alt art which is harder to get, which has manga panels of Shanks in the background. Looks super sick. I think it's selling for around 1 to 200 in that range. Because
Okay.
Yamato's a
Wow.
better card just in the actual games.
Okay.
But
That's too much,
yeah.
man.
What about you, Pappy? How was
What's
Smash
up?
Con?
Smash. No, it was interesting. So that was my first anime convention. As soon as I pulled up, I was wearing my my friend's like One
Oh
Piece
yeah.
manga hoodie thing. Literally 2 seconds in, someone like taps me and they're like, "Can I take a video of you?" And because all my friends are like, they get it, but they also don't get it in terms of like the online world of like content creation, and basically they don't get fucking Twitter because Twitter's a cesspool if we're all being honest with ourselves here. But
Yeah.
and then and then and then yeah, the person came up, did their recordings and this and that, and then they were just like, "What the fuck? Who was that?" I'm like, "I have no idea." And that was basically how it all started, more or less. But no, it was super interesting. I ran into like a few people that I knew, and then there was like one person who knew me, which was like super surreal. That was one of those moments where you're like, "Whoa, like this shit's kind of real." But it was fun. It was a little light in comparison to what I had expected, I suppose, in terms of like in terms of what there would be available and stuff. But like I wasn't really going to go buy anything. I know that like there was like I bought a couple of prints from one of these artists. She's from Melbourne. I think it's Mai Jeroni. She does a lot of the a really nice like One Piece art. So I bought a couple of prints off her, which was really good. And then I just flexed my anime knowledge on all my friends for 2 days. That was about it, really. But we also went, like, one of my friends was super into Pokemon. So basically, we just spent a lot of time looking for cards for him and buying stuff and haggling down these merchants and such, which was fun. But I didn't really go to any of the talks or anything like that, just because like they were also full up. But like I did see the Trash Taste Boys, and saw them talk, which was good. And then no, overall, it was a really good experience. Like, I definitely will want to go back next year. I reckon would be super fun. But there's also part of me that's like, I really want to try to get like a panel there. I don't know how possible that is, if at all. But like, I was like, that'd be kind of sick if it was possible to get like a panel. Because like there was a little bit of gacha stuff here and there, but it's like it was all Genshin trash. No offense to the Genshin listeners, but like,
I mean, look, the game itself of Genshin is good. It's like the community that just kind of
brother, how many
steers that away.
cosplays? Okay, I'm gonna put this out to Boris and Flame. How many Genshin character cosplays did you guys see at AX?
Hundreds.
Thousands. Like there was
a lot of my friends
many.
actually went as Genshin characters. I'd say though the one I saw the most, which I wasn't not expecting, was the I haven't seen I don't know what her name is, but the
Yoru
mom
from Spy Family. Yeah, she was everywhere too.
Oh,
Anya.
you're
I saw that definitely the most, I'd say, out of anything. So
she was.
I
Let's
saw
go.
I
Ain't
saw in the
nothing wrong
middle
with
of
that.
That's
I saw later in the night there was like a group of Anyas walking around. There was like 7 of them.
that's kind of wild, man.
The Anya army.
and I saw a few Among Us guys, like, in the Among Us suits.
Oh
I was like,
no,
yeah.
Amogus.
Nah, I can't do that. No, but there was so many, so many. And like I've never played Genshin, but I just know the characters. So I'm like walking past, and my friend's like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "Oh, that's Ayaka from this." And you're just like, "Fuck, man, this sucks." Like, there's so many of these jabronis walking around, and then like so many. At least at Smash, there was so many Demon Slayer still. I don't know if the same thing was still at AX, but Demon Slayer still was cosplayed heavily at Smash this time around.
Yeah, a ton of people wear the with Tanjiro, right? The Tanjiro like checkered shirt.
Yeah.
So that's
I
pretty
saw
popular.
Nezuko's.
They were all piled up outside, like on the stairs into the convention hall. It's like 70 or 80 people just all there taking like group photos, and I was like, it must be stinking there, man. That shit's sweaty as hell. But overall though, it was pretty sick. Like like I said, like my friends are like, they watch anime, but they're not really like into the world of it, and like they're not really like part of like the culture or like the social aspect of it. So it was really interesting seeing how they would handle like being, and I would always claim like while I was there, I was like, we're amongst degenerates and we are part of them. So like, get used to it, I suppose. But
how was the takeaway at the end of the convention? Like
they enjoyed it. Even like there was like 2 of my friends, like they watch anime where they hate everything, all the other aspects of it, but they still found it pretty fun because like we kind of made our own fun with it as well. But they still enjoyed it. We kind of just walked around and like saw things, and it was interesting to see how they'd enjoyed it too. I think we're all like, we do want to go back. I definitely want to go back next year. I think would be fun. I still have aspirations of going AX one year as well. I think that's still like that's
for
like
sure.
that's on the bucket list. Me and Todd are gonna go up together and we'll record a GGP Ep live. That's what we're gonna do.
Next
That's
year they
that's
might
the
have
plan.
a tournament. They might have like a One Piece card game tournament. You never know.
There you
So
go.
True,
All right, Todd,
true.
we're
Yeah.
going. We're going.
Okay,
It's
yeah, I pull up.
it's actually
I'll be
time.
there next year, too, so I'll pull
Worlds
up.
or something there. They'll do worlds. Or...
Hold on. Now
Yes.
now we're cooking. I'm down. I'm
Damn,
super down.
Todd. Let's go.
Night. Coming
Hell
night?
yeah.
Nights come if
Yeah,
me and
sure, I'll
Todd
come.
if
To
me
beat
and
Todd.
Hey yo, that's messed up. Hey, what did Todd do to you, man?
I was trying to get Toad to come to this Anime Expo, but I know you said you were busy, right? With
Oh yeah,
some
yeah.
stuff,
I was
so, yeah.
I was not ready to go. But
Next year, we're gonna plan it from now. Next year, we're gonna.
It's gonna be
figure it
tough
out
though.
and we're
Next
gonna
year,
go.
everyone's gonna go to Japan as well. So
They can all go.
yeah.
They can all go to Japan where we're at AX. It's fine. Less people there, right? Now, even me and my friends have been talking about traveling again next year, like as a plan. Like we want to go to New Zealand, and then from New Zealand we just want to go like do like an Asia tour again, and then obviously hit Japan. We also want to go to like Thailand, Philippines, South Korea, North Korea, of course. You know, and that kind of stuff. But so that's definitely on the cards there too. So I think fingers crossed if we get the gears in motion, I'll be going back to Japan. Hopefully next year would be ideal. Like would be the plan as well, because I think like I miss it. That's a great question. How do you feel with like not being? Well, you came back 2019, so it's been
to be honest, I don't even. I think it was like probably
it would've
whenever the
been in
pandemic
2020.
started.
yeah
It'd be
2020.
early 2020.
Yeah,
Yeah.
April. I came back like in April.
So how does
and
it
yeah.
feel? How do you feel about like not being in Japan, or do you miss it? Do you want to go back and
Yeah.
live there again? Like what's
Yeah,
what's
I
the
mean,
go on that
I miss
front?
it every day. It's just like there's part of me really wants to go back. Like, you know, I was planning to live there for 5 years. My visa was for 5 years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I could have stayed there for 5 years essentially without any issues, and then just have to renew it. So you know, I was already planning, and I, you know, I was losing a lot of weight. I was walking a lot.
Yeah,
So I was
totally.
getting like exercise. You know, you feel really safe when you're there. At least as a guy, you know, as a woman, it might be a little different, but
Totally.
you know, they are making
Mhm.
strides towards that, like women only cars in
Mhm.
trains and things like
Mhm.
that, and a lot of public service announcements and things. But yeah, no, like there's just so many things now because of my job, that you know, everything's going so well that I as much as I want to go back, it'd be really difficult, you know, to give up what I have here. If I could find a job like what I have right now in Japan, at like an English style, like an American style company or like a Western style company, then yeah, you know, that's actually part of why I did the whole boot camp and went into this field, is to leave that option open
Yeah.
down the road. But yeah, I don't know if you noticed. Well, yeah, the dollar and the other currencies have been like flipping in a sense. So
Mhm.
the euro, I think, recently just went down.
It
Is now
tanked, yeah.
at parity with the dollar. So it's interesting. So you know, just if I went there, I knew I'd have to take a big pay cut more than
Yeah.
likely. I
Yeah,
know a friend who
100%.
did do it actually. Who actually he was working at PlayStation when I left.
Wow.
He said he took a big pay cut, but I just messaged him a few weeks ago and he says he's still living there and he's still liking it. So I think yeah, it's all about you know, what makes you more happy at the end of the day. And so it's definitely on the table still. You know, maybe in a few years I'll move back. I would love to do it. Again, it's just you know, weighing my options. So
It's risky though, because now that you have like a full-time position here, like it's more likely than not, and I'm happy for you to correct me. It's like you're not going to get that same job or that same position if you decide to go to Japan.
yeah, so
and work and
usually
stuff.
salaries would be lower there, and like I said, also
Exactly.
the yen has been weakening to the dollar,
Yeah.
so it's just a you know, multiplying effect.
Does your
Um,
employer have an office in Japan or something?
They
Or is
don't.
it?
It
Wow,
would
okay.
be great if they did. That's one of the first things I kind of looked up actually.
Yeah, of course.
They do have it's a worldwide company. They have, like I said, I think they have some potentially in Australia. They have a lot in Europe. The base is actually in Newcastle, which I can actually. If you want me to go a little bit at a tangent? I did a trip to Newcastle about a few weeks before AX, and I actually got to meet some OGs from the OPTC community. So
Oh,
I got to meet.
Bunch of the UK lads, right?
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
to meet. Yeah. Well, it's like kind of the trio where it's Mr. Teacups, and
Wow.
then his
That's
crew.
that's a throwback name. That's
Yeah, no,
that's a
and
throwback
actually, it's funny
name.
enough. We've been keeping up a little bit, even while I was out of the scene and stuff. I've always stopped by his streams sometimes. And I took some photos. If you guys want to check it on Twitter, and it was
Mhm.
cool. It was we had a great time. We're trying to get Atsu to join. He was hoping to join in, but I think some things came up and he wasn't able to join. But I did see him at AX actually, so we took
Yeah,
a
they
picture
went to
Oh,
together.
nice.
yeah.
So I got to see him and Neko. And yeah, it was just cool to we spent that day in London, and just kind of they took me around different areas and got to do a little shopping, and it was fun. It was super cool. Yeah, really excited to go back to UK one day, potentially next
Um,
year if because work related. So
Yeah.
So since you've been back from Japan, have you been keeping up with like learning Japanese, or have you really fell off with that?
no, I never actually learned Japanese. Like I never.
Well, I thought you were like learning it.
Well, I knew katakana and hiragana, right? Which is
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're the two different
Two of the
alphabets, the
three
easy ones.
alphabets. Yeah, two of the
Yeah,
three
that's
alphabets.
just the easy part. And even that's
Yeah.
kind of sometimes the way you learn it via, at least the way I learned it was I associate a symbol with like a something in my head, and then
Yep.
when I see it, oh, this looks like this, so this means this, right?
Yep.
Mm.
But then kanji is the hard part.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I was doing a little bit on what's the app on your phone that everyone uses?
Duolingo.
Yes, yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Duolingo, in my opinion, it isn't the right way to learn Japanese because I don't know, it just teaches you very, very weirdly. At least because I'd learned Japanese like through like school and stuff. So I guess it's completely
Yeah.
different. But like it's good for learning like what the characters and stuff mean. But then I think it's in like this. It's just how you can speak and the sentence structures, which is always the hard part.
Yeah, it's very different from anything I've learned. So yeah, I never really got around to it. Taking it seriously at least. If I do move back, that's one of the big considerations is
Yeah, you
that in
have to,
Tokyo, in Tokyo you don't really need it. But
Yeah.
if I plan to live there long term, I definitely see myself needing to learn it down the road.
Yeah.
So that's another thing where I have to weigh my options. And if I do plan to move back, start taking lessons or whatnot or whatever, figure out the best way it is for me to learn a new language.
Mhm.
Because I haven't really found anything so far that sticks when it comes to Japanese. So
I think
Mhm.
there's like I mean like I know through school we had textbooks, we just had really good teachers, so it helps as well. But I know like one of the strategies that I would do like in my downtime is that I'll just like grab one of the textbooks and every like day I'd like do like a couple pages, and I'll just like do the notes on all the pages, and then you'd be able to like review your notes, and as you just periodically work through this like 400-500 page textbook as you went through, and every day you do a little bit. But I think that the most important thing that I would say is that when you're in Japan, you just have to talk to people, and that's the scariest part as well. Like I'm not the most confident in that front, but like you just have to go and you just have to try to have a conversation because that's how you're gonna learn how to have. Because you don't need to know the respectful Japanese like the orders of sonkeigo and keigo and all that kind of stuff, which is like the levels of respect. Or you don't have to know how to use like the particular grammatical structures that allow you to be formal and be allowed you to say the right. You just have to know how to like order off a menu or ask for directions or like ask for specific things, especially if you're living there, like pretty common day-to-day items and stuff. Like I think even those is enough to get you to really take a good step into living there.
yeah, even like you said, even just a little effort, like there's so many
Blown
times where I
away.
just said like one word and they're like, oh, like they were impressed.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, oishi, and like, oh, he knows that word, and things like that. So yeah, or like I was asking,
Wow.
I was meeting up with a friend. I was asking for directions as to like where to go somewhere, and like, wait, like how do you know that? I'm like, dude, that's just like something like one of the first things you learn. So yeah, just put in a little effort. Like I said, in Tokyo, it'll go a long way. And then if you do plan to live long term, I mean, I definitely recommend trying out to learn some more complex stuff, especially if you're trying to get a loan. If you're trying to get
That's
anything
if
like
you
that.
don't- yeah. If you don't have a ringer, like if you don't have someone that actually like speaks fluent Japanese, good luck is what I would say. To
Yeah,
get
thankfully I did
all
have
that
a
kind of
friend
stuff.
there that kind of helped me out to set up my bank
Yeah.
account and stuff like that. But um, yeah, like it's also you don't want to be inconveniencing people all the time. So
Exactly right. Like that's
Yeah,
what I've always
definitely.
noticed. I've noticed when it comes to going to Japan, it's the hard part is like the bank account, going into like the town hall to like register, like all
oh
that
yeah,
kind of stuff
yeah,
is always the
do my
tough part.
taxes.
Yeah, doing all that kind of stuff, that's the
Yeah.
hard stuff. Everything else you can get by easily. But when you need to actually do the official stuff, that's when it's like you're in Japan's area now. Like it's tough to do that kind of stuff. Would you personally see yourself moving somewhere else soon? Like living somewhere abroad again, or do you think
Oh,
you're
abroad?
yeah, like
Um,
or are you pretty comfortable right now where you are?
I mean, I like where I'm at right now. Again, my company base is in Newcastle, in the UK. I'm actually getting paid a lot better, I think, than a lot of the people there, because the US rates for tech are much higher than in Europe,
Yeah.
and other parts of the world. So like I said, moving anywhere, I'd probably end up getting a pay cut. Um,
Mm.
with that said, though, like again, it's I actually really UK was pretty cool. Like I really enjoyed it there, especially Newcastle. It's a great city. Everybody was super friendly. I never ran into anybody. Everybody was I love to talk. It was actually really, really enjoyable. I could definitely see myself living in somewhere like that. And you can get everywhere pretty much on foot or public transport and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Um, but no, I think for now, yeah, my goal is kind of just to save up for now while I once I pay off my boot camp loan, then I don't really have any other loans past that, so I just start saving up and keeping my options open for the future. So.
Hell yeah.
My question is when you coming back to Australia? That's my question.
Oh, maybe next year. That'd be fun.
All right, there we go.
I
Lock
would
it
love
in.
to go back.
Lock it in.
Yeah, if there's like any what's the biggest convention? Is it still well, I went to PAX last time I was there, right?
I'd say
Yeah.
general convention. I'd say PAX. Anime convention. It'd probably. I mean, I guess Todd will fill us in about the Crunchyroll one.
Yeah, I'll have to see how
Soon.
that goes.
But it's either Crunchyroll one or it's Smash. So one of those two. I think they're the two biggest ones.
Yeah,
Maybe,
because
maybe Crunchyroll might be more fun because I think it's I don't know. It just seems like it might be a little better. I don't know. We'll see.
yeah,
See
because
what, see what Todd thinks.
have to see a football game and all that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Be
I'd take
fun.
them to and I won't be broke. I won't be a broke youngin, so I actually be able to afford to come up and hang out as well. There we go. It's time now. Lock it in. Boris World Tour 2023. It's already happening. It's we're just planning it out right now. Is all. We're just like doing it for him as part of our our job seeker sponsorship from today. We also plan
Exactly.
world trips with people, and you know the vibes, man. No,
I
it's
will
good.
say the only downside is that flight. That flight is long. It's a long flight down to Australia.
All right, how about
But,
we
yeah.
how about we go up to the US next year instead of you coming to
Yeah, I mean,
Australia?
yeah. Or, we could do both. Maybe we'll see. But
All right, we can do
Yeah,
that too. All right,
yeah.
we're moving. We're
I'm
moving.
planning to go to the US later this year.
Like, ooh, is
Oh,
that
this year.
is that
Oh,
an,
okay.
is that an
Seeing
exclusive?
me?
Is that
Oh.
is that seeing me? Oh, is that
Yeah,
is that
yeah, I'm going to Chillwood Night.
Let's actually
Yes,
go.
sir.
Hell yeah, you got
Let's
it.
actually go. Is that a GGP exclusive? Let's go. There you go, GGP fans. You got an exclusive on the show. Once again, every episode there's been one exclusive. That's another one there for you.
I can give you another exclusive.
Yeah,
I'm going to Anime Expo Part 2, I guess. I don't know what they call it. They're doing another Anime Expo this year.
Wait, what?
What?
They're doing one in Ontario, California, which is about an hour away from Los Angeles.
Wow.
Okay.
And
Flame?
yeah, I'm
You up for
gonna
that?
be hanging out with Rose and the guys again. So I'm just excited to hang out with them.
Awesome.
And
Yeah.
we'll check
I'll
out. I
be
think it's
there
the first
too.
year they're doing like a second one, from what I understand.
That's interesting.
Hmm.
Yep. It's in November though, so it's still a while away. But
Still a while away.
I have a question. For the flight to Australia, so when I went to Japan, I had to go. So I'm from Chicago, so I went from Chicago to California. Do you have to go to California and then you go to Australia, or where did you have to go for your like flight?
yeah, now that you're saying it, yeah, I did go to I stopped at California, LAX, and then from there
Uh-huh.
I actually had to fly to Sydney, and then Sydney to
You went,
Melbourne.
so there was no
Mhm.
stopovers. You just went one way, just straight from LAX to Australia.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
mad. I think
Let's go. Yeah, it goes straight over the ocean. Just straight over. Yeah.
14 and a half. No, I just looked it up just then. It's like a 15-hour flight straight.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that's
god.
rough.
Yeah, it was a long flight.
Boris is a demon. There you go,
Flying
Todd.
Hopefully
is
on the
hard.
way here it's not as bad. So.
There you go, Todd. We can do one stop from October. Or do you want to go to America October 29th? That's $1,300 a ticket right now. That's actually bare cheap for a ticket to LA.
It's
That's
about
not
stock
bad.
standard.
That's not bad. I might have to buy. I might have to buy right now. Hold on. That's round trip as well on Fiji Airways. There you go. Going on Fiji Airways, lad.
Hey,
That has
I'm like,
one stop
Thank you
though.
for sponsoring the
Yeah,
podcast.
shout out to Fiji Airways for sponsoring today's show. You could win a free ticket to LA and go with Boris to Anime Expo Part 2. I wish.
It's
I
gonna be a
wish.
small one though. It's gonna be like it's
Yeah.
only gonna be a 2-day event. It's gonna be in a
Yeah.
smaller convention center, but yeah, I think it might mean that less lines, you get to see more stuff. Especially, I'd say the
Totally.
artist alley at AX was crowded. The rest of the other two halls, the exhibition and the entertainment halls, they were actually pretty fine, and it wasn't really that hot. But the artist alley, once you're walking down, oh my god, that place was really hot. Like just everybody packed
Yeah,
together. Oh.
yeah. The problem with most anime artist alleys is they put them in the basement, so there,
Yeah.
there's no air down there.
where they belong. Put them in the basement.
Yeah.
You know, it was crazy. On the first day, they let in too many people, so the
Yeah,
fire marshal
I was gonna
actually.
ask, what
Yeah.
was that photo of? I want to know the
Yep.
story behind that picture on Twitter. That shoulder
Yeah,
to shoulder.
and well, funny enough, we were fine because we lined up early, and then we actually, our group was pretty much at the front where the doors were. So
Nice.
as soon as they opened, like we got to go straight in. But behind us, there were people lining up on the escalator. Like that's so dangerous because if somebody falls over, they push everybody down. That's gonna cause for a huge accident. So yeah, I mean, even people like even artists, exhibitors, guest people with like VIP badges, they couldn't get in. Like they had to wait probably until midday
Wow.
before they were able to get in. Yeah, I know
Wow.
Atsu was having trouble and his group was having trouble getting in because the fire marshal literally said no more people. I
Damn.
think second
Jeez.
day onwards it was fine, but yeah, that first day, if you didn't get in early, you had to wait a long time to get in. It was pretty insane.
Damn. It'd be like
That's
that.
rough.
That's so crazy. I don't like that. I mean, we lined up for our one at like, my friends were mad because I'm like, we lined up at like 8 o'clock to enter at 10. And everyone's like, why are we here so early? I'm like, trust me, you're going to be appreciative once we're here early. And then when we had, like, we were at the very front of the line. Basically, like, we were in like the second set of lines, more or less. So, like, we got in like almost immediately. Then once we had got in and like, we literally went in, we walked around, saw everything very quickly. When we asked, oh, if we have a pass, we'll be able to enter, like, exit and enter whenever we want. They said, yeah, of course. So, like, we like saw everything and then we left to go get food. And then when we were leaving, the line was like, Todd will be able to attest. Bro, Todd, the line was to the water at Sydney, basically to Darling Harbour.
Oh my god.
So like it was that long, and we're just leaving, and then we just walked back in front of everyone as well, and it was like the best feeling. So like, I was like, you have to be there early. I know everyone has the same idea, but it's like if you're not there early, like you're just in the thick of it, and it's not.
Yeah, I
Yep.
know we lined up at 7 a.m. each day, and they open at 10, so we pretty much
Yep.
waited
Jeez.
3 hours. But then if you wanted to get into a line like a trash taste panel, like
Oh,
you had
good
to
luck.
line up. Yeah, good luck, because yeah, I remember going out there to look at the line, and they were telling people like, yeah, like you're not gonna make it, like don't even line up. There's no chance for you. So that was pretty funny. Yeah, those kind of like the headline panels, you need to line up pretty much. Sometimes
Mhm.
even getting in at the like 10 a.m. is not enough. Like only people who like have like the early passes or something. I remember there was like a Markiplier panel one year at PAX, and even if you got in right at the door, it was already too late. Like only the early
Jesus
access
Christ.
people got. Yeah, it's pretty messed up. So
Oh my god, that's too.
I guess one thing we haven't talked about was the One Piece panel. So
Yeah,
it
okay.
was super cool because we had one of the directors or something that works with Oda. He was there.
That's sick.
And usually, you know, when you have somebody from Japan or something coming over, they don't really say too much. Again, because a lot of it, you know, you have to translate and things like that.
Yeah.
But he talked a lot, actually. It was super cool. Rogers Base was the host for that panel, so that was also really cool to see.
Yeah, that's cool.
And
Yeah, so yeah, that
yeah,
photo
we
with Shofu and
yeah, he
Right.
invited me
Yeah,
actually. It
I'm
was
still so mad at you. I'm just jealous. I love Shofu. He's my guy. And then you got to
dude,
meet him.
you know
I'm like,
what?
damn.
Dude, even Roger was shocked that Shofu showed up because apparently Shofu never shows up. Like he
He
usually
wouldn't. He
doesn't.
seems the kind of guy who wouldn't rock up. It
So
makes
that was
sense.
so interesting. Yeah, and it was just cool to meet. I'd say Tekking was, you know, he's probably one of the most genuine people I've ever met. Super cool. Everybody there was super amazing. Just really cool to have the opportunity to even hang out with them was cool. Um,
It's
and
awesome.
yeah, but no, I mean the you know, going back to the panel, it was cool
Yeah.
because after, I mean, yeah, you know, it was cool to see. I think the voice actor, the English voice actor for Shanks, Brooks' voice actor, which is really cool to see him. And then I forgot who else. Somebody else was there too. I don't remember who it was, but they were there, and they got to ask a bunch of questions. And then, actually, funny enough, I'm trying to remember who. Somebody spoiled like.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
yeah, yeah. Somebody brought up. I'm not gonna spoil it on here because, you know, for anime onlys. But there's something in that happens later on, and somebody just flat out, one of the hosts. I don't remember who it was. There was, who was the third person? I'm trying to remember. I think it was like somebody who does like the voice acting or something, the director or something. They flat
Right.
out said,
Oh
Here's
you know,
what
something.
no.
happens. I think I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about too. So that's kind of sad.
yeah.
That's funny as.
Yeah.
That's
That's
so
He
funny.
so
said it in a way where, like, if you don't know, like, if you wouldn't know, it's, I guess it's not a big spoiler, but it was, yeah, I was really surprised to hear.
Oh, you know what?
Everybody was surprised.
You can spoil in these episodes, so I'm more than happy for you to say what you need to say. It's fine. These episodes are allowed.
Well, it was just about the upcoming Luffy thing, you know.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That's funny,
yeah.
guys.
That's what I
We'll talk-
thought.
They
We'll
played
talk
out
about
like
the manga.
spoiled
Yeah.
it.
That's so funny. Imagine those poor
Yeah.
kids like, huh? Because you always hear that as like a joke, right? You're like, oh, that'll never happen, and then it did. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like,
That's a yikes.
that's so good.
That was
That's
that was
so
a funny
good.
moment. But yeah, the panel was great. And again, we got like we got a trailer for the. Oh, it was really cool. As you also, you know, because like I said, the doors open at 10, but like to get inside the actual hall, it opens around like 8:30 to 9. So we would go into that main lobby area with the big Luffy, then we would wait there until 10. But you could see through the doors. There was like all different types of trailers for all One Piece stuff, like One Piece Odyssey, One Piece card game, the anime treasure. There was Treasure Cruise commercials,
Let's
Bounty Rush
go!
commercials. So it was cool. We got to, you know, even though we were waiting there was a lot of stuff to see through the doors. Because yeah, all the One Piece stuff was literally right at the front. Yeah, it was really cool. And I at one point, I think on the second or third day when it was like less crowded, I just stopped in front of that big TV and just watched a bunch of commercials. And you know, because I didn't really actually get to the time to sit there and actually like listen to them. But yeah, it was, oh man, it was so cool. Hopefully next year is equally as cool for One Piece. I know, I think it would be. You know, I think over the pandemic, a lot of people started watching One Piece.
Yeah.
I know a lot of big YouTubers like just Jacksepticeye. I saw, I was like watching One Piece. Like a bunch of big YouTubers are watching
Rad.
One Piece. Yeah, so yeah, One Piece effect is in full swing. We're gonna see where it goes in the next, you know, year or two.
It's time.
Just super excited because I remember, I mean, you've been around for a long time as well.
Mm.
Remember back then, there weren't really that many people who watched One Piece.
No, they're like, oh, you watch One Piece? What the fuck? As if you're not watching Dragon Ball, bro.
Oh, that's so long. I don't think I'll ever watch it. Right, and now everybody's watching it.
Now
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those things. Like, especially like when the series ends, I feel like a lot of people are gonna like finally get to it, and they're like, oh my god, why did I not, you know, experience this while it was coming out? Holy shit.
That's, yeah. I think a lot of people are gonna regret not, you know, not being able to, you know, once they wait for it to finish, and then like, oh my god, this would have been amazing if I was reading it week to week, and
Right.
to think about.
And,
Yeah.
and it kind of pisses me off because like there's actually people like in the anime community that go out of their way to like shit on One Piece, but then like they actually watch it and they actually like it, but they just shit on it because it's like the quote unquote popular thing to do. And that just pisses me off. Like I know Rhyme
Yeah.
Style does it, and Afro Senju, they do it, and like Afro actually watches One Piece, but he still shits on it because like, you know, it gets traction. It's
You
just
gotta get them
that's
clicks.
just annoying. Yeah,
I
it's
noticed
so
a lot of
annoying.
the YouTubers are making some pretty spoilerish
Oh
thumbnails
yeah.
recently on videos.
Oh, yeah.
It's so stupid. I hate it. It's ridiculous. It's too much.
Actually, I got
Yeah.
spoiled for the first time in like years on this
Oh
on the
no.
latest chapter. So
Have you read the latest chapter?
yeah.
Have
I
we?
thankfully I didn't get spoiled. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I didn't. The spoiler I got was it was kind of big, but at the same time it wasn't that big. But yeah, I was a little sad.
Have we all read the
I have a really
latest
good
chapter?
track record, but this time, unfortunately, no matter how many times I put like "do not interested" on Twitter
Oh, it's
or
too
like One
late.
Piece stuff,
It's
It
already
doesn't
too
it doesn't
late.
show
matter.
up.
Yeah,
You have to mute. You have to like. There's like you have to mute.
I'm gonna do that from
everything.
now on. Yeah, because I'll get like a One Piece tweet that's recommended to me, and, and it doesn't say like anime or manga. It'll say something random like finance, and it'll just be a One Piece tweet with a spoiler. Yeah, I keep getting it, like I don't know why.
They're figuring it
Yeah.
out. Them finance bros are finally on One Piece. It's time.
They're just pushing like I'll get the randomest tweets for something that's completely unrelated to whatever the topic is, and it's getting pretty out of hand.
Well, if we've all read, have we all read the chapter?
Yeah.
I've read it.
10.5.4?
It's like the perfect chapter to come
Yeah.
off of a 1 month break with. Honestly,
It's-
it was so good.
It was fucked. I'm so like Otter.
Yeah.
I hate Otter's fucked in the head, man. He's too goddamn
In a good
smart.
way.
Yeah, he's too goddamn smart, bro. Like it's not even okay. Like his ability to write is like it's uncanny, and like, you're so right as well. It was just the perfect tease of everything that needed to be said was said right off a break, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, we really are entering the final saga now."
My man
like-
Shanks just said, "All right, time to finish the series."
Shanks pulled up. He said, "It's time, man. It's time."
I think he's a lurking legend. I know a few years ago I was talking about the lurking
classic.
legend was gonna make his, and everyone's like, no, it's like this person is that person. But I think pretty much now it's clear. Like Shanks has kind of been lurking in the shadows,
Well,
and now it's
If you guys have been seeing some of the tweets from Arta, he said that one of the tweets he tweeted like right as we're starting the podcast. Breaking news: Oda confirms in his interview again that once the One Piece is found, the series will be over.
Yeah.
So I don't know
like-
how
Oh,
that
wow.
kind of works. I the way I envisioned it is that they would find the island, and then they would fight for it, and then you get to see what the One Piece is, and then there's kind of like
There's like a post story kind of thing. Afterwards.
some kind of way to finish it off. But imagine if like they find the One Piece
Oh,
and that's
done.
it, like this end of series.
that's like the
I-
last chapter.
That would
I'll
be
be-
crazy.
I'd be pissed off
Yeah.
on the low. I'd be kind of mad. I don't know. That wouldn't sit right with me. Just
I wonder if we'll get some sort of like Evangelion thing where like I forget what it's called at the thing at the very end. What was it? Essentially, it's the big event happens, and that's pretty much like the end.
no.
It ends like that. Yeah.
No.
It'd be so weird.
It's
Please
just, like,
don't.
Because like Oda reckons that he wants to finish in like between 3 and 5 years from now. Like, I don't
No,
know.
I
how
agree,
they're
so
gonna
yeah,
fix that.
I would think that like once they find the One Piece, that's kind of the catalyst to the final part, the final arc, mini arc or whatever.
Yeah, the post.
kind of,
It's the wrap
I
up.
just-
Like,
I don't get it. Like, there's so
Yeah.
much that they need to talk about. Like, im summer, whatever. Like, what the hell's going on with that? Like, you're just
There's-
gonna leave that there, or
there's so much. Like, even like for me, like I've always had this. Like, I've always thought like it'd be like, it would end with everyone like completing their goal or like their dream.
right?
Like everyone kind of goes like Sanji finds the all blue and like Zoro becomes the best sword and like all this kind of stuff. Like they all and then that's where like it would end. But like, imagine if they find one like if the last chapter like the last panel is Luffy like I did it, yay, and then it's just like and we end there. Like I don't know, man. That doesn't sit right with me. But I trust Oda. Like as much as we can complain about it, it's like you can trust that guy to figure something out
yeah, and like
write it properly.
even if he has everything planned, 5 years is still a long time. So he's gonna have things that change here and there, and
Well, yeah, exactly. We've already. How many
yeah.
times have we said 5 years now? Like it's
Yeah.
been like 12 times since we've said 5 years. So
Yeah,
And
and you
where's-
also also
where's-
taking into account his health.
Yeah.
that's a good point too. That's a
Yeah.
very very good point too.
And where's my
Um,
man Eneru?
He's on the moon. He's still chilling on the moon.
Bring him back, Oda. Bring him back.
I was legit thinking
What
he'd
do you
come
mean?
down
He
during.
came back, bro.
I thought he was gonna come back during Wano at some point, but never happened. So we'll
Oh,
have to
you
wait and see, I
missed
guess.
that? He came
was
in
the-
and helped the Scabbards, bro. He came in.
yeah,
He healed them.
yeah, that's the only reason why they because they went Sulong form is because he just moved the moon himself. You know, that was all
Right.
him.
Classic.
Standard Otter tactic right there.
Like,
No, like the chapter was good though. Like it was really, really good. Like unfairly good for like
and freaking
one.
Sabo doing Sabo
What
things.
the fuck? Sabo's now like a god. Like
Sabo and a few good men.
Sabo is like a god now. Like what's going on there? You know?
Yeah, I know
Like,
there was some drama, right, between some people were saying the admirals were stronger, and other people saying the revolutionaries were stronger. I think
Yeah, I
after this
think
chapter, yeah.
Oda's trying to buff the revolutionaries, it seems.
he doesn't need to, but he's still doing it anyway.
Like, how the hell he escaped from 2 admirals?
That's
I
my
heard
goat
people
right there.
say.
Yeah,
I
but
I
then
heard people
again,
Hmm.
my like biggest thing about Whole Cake Island was like, how did Luffy go into enemy territory and pretty much leave? You know, like they
Unscathed.
had like one casualty, but like pretty much outside of that, they pretty much came out unscathed. So
That was a
that's why I was like,
self-inflicted
yeah.
casualty too. Let's keep it real, right?
Yeah.
That man sacrificed himself.
And like everyone thought that Jinbei was gonna have like some huge injury, and he came back
He's chilling.
like nothing wrong.
Big Jimbo, he comes back.
Like,
He's
thought,
chilling.
he's gonna be missing an arm or a leg or something.
Nah, man, he's fine. Man pulled up, soloed Big Mom, disappeared. No stress,
That's
right?
what you think. Strusen has a candy cane on the back of Jinbei's neck.
Yeah, one day
at
he's
the
just
right
gonna.
moment, he's gonna transform into Candy Jinbei, and then it's like
he's
Mama
gonna go kill this.
Jinbei.
he's gonna go attempt to take out the Straw Hats or something like that. They try to
Yeah,
kill him.
exactly.
How do you
But
guys feel
I'm
about?
just excited for Shanks, man.
No, nah. That Shanks
Yeah.
panel, that page of
Yeah.
Shanks just saying
That
like,
went
yeah,
hard.
he's just like, it's fucking time. I'm just like, huh? Like, oh my god.
I'm pretty sure
dude.
everybody went like because he like Lucky Roo was everybody reading the chapter that time. So like, oh nice, Shanks is gonna meet Luffy, and then Lucky Roo's like, wait, what? We're not meeting Luffy? And that's just like
Yeah,
every reader.
when
Yeah.
Yasop's like, I'm not ready. He's I'm not ready. I'm not ready to see my kid. And everyone else in the crew's like, yeah, we're all deadbeats anyway. It's fine. You know what I mean?
I think my favorite part was the little the new guys on the crew, on Shanks's crew, like, oh, like these guys know monkey, like they know the monkey.
They know
D.
Luffy, like as if
Yeah.
Shanks isn't like a bigger name than Luffy or something
Yeah.
like that, right? Like it's mad. They're just like, oh, he knows Luffy. It's like,
that was my
brother,
favorite part. I
on
think that's
Shanks's
where Oda
crew.
really shines. Is like those little interactions like that, you know, that you don't they doesn't really have to do anything with the chapter, and he doesn't have to add that, but that's the little stuff like that that really makes One Piece what it
Totally.
is.
He
It adds
doesn't-
the
yeah.
world building.
That
Yeah.
little panel there does not need to be there like at all, but having it in there makes it so much better. I
Yeah.
couldn't agree more. But that panel of Shanks, it's so good. It's so good. Like Oda, I don't know.
I didn't
don't know how
expect
he
it. Like
does it.
you know, I think you know, for a long time we've suspected, you know, okay, you know, Shanks has something, you know, up his sleeve or whatnot, or
Yeah,
but you know, I didn't actually think Oda would go through with it, and now it looks like there's
he's
something
ready.
going on, and yeah,
I mean,
he looks like Luffy as a competitor, right, for the
he
One Piece.
definitely does, and I think like there was also like somebody pointed out a good point when Luffy was on like Punk Hazard, he was like, oh, I'm gonna take out all 4 Yonko, which technically includes Shanks, right? So like it kind of does make sense then that like where like Shanks is now like a rival more or less. So
Yep.
I guess it kind of depends now how they're going to portray him though is the question. Are they going to make him like a rival? Are they going to make him like is Uzumaki Khan going to be right? Is Shanks evil? Like what's the dealio on that front?
And the last thing I'll say is, I think more interesting than that is you could tell it looks like Ben Beckman is in the know as well. Like it looks like the other guys they're not really like too aware, but
Yeah.
you could tell between Shanks and Beckman, like they something's
They
up
have a
between the two of
plan.
them.
They have a plan. They're
Yeah,
gonna
like-
execute something or other.
Yeah.
What
So,
are your thoughts on the panel where it's like Sabo assassinates King Cobra? Like it's just some straight bait.
yeah,
Like,
I mean, I think
Yeah.
all of that Reverie stuff is playing out exactly how everyone thought it was gonna play out.
Yeah.
You know, they're gonna frame Sabo for this, and Vivi escaped, King Cobra died. I think all of that, you know, people kind of figured out. I think what again the kind of the thing that caught me off guard was that Sabo escaped. I actually didn't think I thought they had captured Sabo and we're gonna do a repeat of Marine. You know, how Oda likes to repeat the arc styles, like so.
Right.
For example, like
Right.
New World and the Grand Line, they've kind of been parallels arcs as they go. So the parallel for Marineford would be he has to go back and rescue Sabo, but this time Luffy's going to succeed. You know,
Yeah.
whereas last time he failed. But no, actually he escaped. So that kind of that was surprising to me. So that was kind of cool to see.
And now Sabo's
And
like
that they
God.
rescued Kuma. I was so
And
happy
they
for that.
yeah, Kuma being rescued
Yeah.
is goat.
I was so happy for that.
But like you are right. Like the fact that they escaped from Fuji and Green Bull is kind of nuts.
Yep.
Like how does that even happen? You know, like it's
Low key, not even escaped. When they showed Fuji, he got his ass beat.
he
yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, man. Like it's that's interesting. I'm keen to see. Like I don't think we'll ever see it like actually played out, but I'm
They
keen to
might
see
do it
what
in the
it's-
anime.
Yeah, they could do it in the anime. That'd be interesting. Well, speaking of Green Bull, how do you guys think? What do you guys think of Green Bull? He pulling up.
I love him.
He looks
He-
sick as
he's
hell, doesn't
awesome.
he? Yeah, he
Yeah.
looks so sick.
I like the way his whole like fruit turned out because I was so for the longest time I was like, what are they gonna give this guy? And then the fact that he has like the forest fruit is just insane to me, and I just love it. I love the whole thing with him. I think
He gives me very bullet energy. Like he
Yeah.
gives me a lot of bullet vibes from the movie.
You know what's interesting? When I was in the UK, I also met up with two of my friends from the One Piece theory community, and one of them, his name's Theory 2. He was telling me we were talking about it, and we're talking about Green Bull, and he's like, dude, I think Green Bull has like the forest fruit, and I think he's gonna be what repopulates Wano because there's been a lot of suggestions that Wano, it's all like a lot of the forestry and everything has died
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
And so there was
Mhm.
suggestions that by the end of the arc, it would go back to kind of how it was before. So he was telling me, yeah, I think Green Bull's gonna come back and his power is gonna like revive, the whole country. And like
Seems
when
like
I
it.
saw it, I'm like, oh my god, like he was spot on. Like that's that's so crazy. Because like, you see as he's walking through, he's like creating
Yeah.
the leaves and the trees and everything. So I think that's gonna be essentially the whole reason him coming to there in the first place is to kind of make it a green country again. And, clean up the pollution and everything that was there. So it's
What
like a
do
side
you-
effect of whatever he's doing. So
How do you feel about Momonosuke pulling up and saying, "Stay out of this"?
that was interesting too.
I like
I'm not.
that.
Yeah, I like Yamato also in the chapter.
Yeah,
was
Yamato
cool.
pulled up, did some damage.
Yeah, it was
And
funny. I saw
Momo,
the
yeah.
scabbards lining up. I'm like, dude, they stand no chance.
Oh, here we
There's
go
no way
again.
yeah. But then Yamato came in. Okay, well, I could see potentially them at least like putting them back. And then Momo came in, and it looks like he's cool to see him how he's evolved over time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it just goes back to like when they like showed him in the grown man form. Like he's shown that he wants to be the leader of Wano, and he's like standing up for his people and stuff. So that's what I really liked about him pulling up and saying like, "Hey, I got this, Yamato."
Bro,
Even though I'm getting wrung
Green Bull's
out.
gonna beat his ass though. There's no shot. Green Bull is
I don't
gonna
care, it's still
Green Bull's gonna
cool.
destroy him. Maybe he'll maybe there'll be like some like political or like bureaucratic talks between Momo and Green Bull. That's how it's gonna like end the fight. And then Green Bull maybe might offer to fix the land. There might be like a trade offer. Like Green Bull undesolates the land and brings back all the greenery, but Wano's borders have to open or something like that. So there might be like a trade offer there to allow that to actually happen.
Shanks is going to show up and destroy Green Bull.
You think so?
Yep.
You think that's how? You think so?
Yep. He's going to say, leave these people alone.
Oh, not again. He comes every 10 years. He pulls up to a war of some sort, says "Get out of
what's
here,"
gonna
and then
happen.
disappears. It'd be like that, man.
And then Shanks is going to steal Pluton and use it to get One Piece.
Exactly.
You know what? I loved the little flashback of like them going to the marine ship, and like Shanks' crew going to
Yeah.
getting the fruit, and they're all just like, "Oh, this fruit means nothing." And it's like, brother, you don't even know, man. It was a good chapter. I really enjoyed this chapter. I thought it was really good. What do you guys think is the I mean, now that Boris is here, like what do you think, Boris, the final saga or like the One Piece saga entails? Like, where do you think it goes from now? What do you think occur? Like, what do you think the play is from here?
That's interesting. I think the key part here is where's that the road poneglyphs, right? We're missing that
Yep.
fourth one.
Yeah, where is
So
that?
I think that's gonna be. I think it has to be Oda's priority, right? Is in the next in the story is that's the next logical step, right? Is
Yeah.
okay, whatever happens in Wano, they're gonna read the poneglyphs that they have for Brook and Jinbei, and their law's probably gonna have something to do with it too, because we saw him reading the one or looking at the one in Wano. And then I think from there, it's like, okay, well, where's the fourth one, right? I think Straw Hats needs to receive some sort of clue or something, because otherwise, where do they go from here, right?
Where do you
They
think
talked
the
about
fourth
that
one
in
is?
the Road to Laughtail thing during the break, didn't they? Like, where's the last poneglyph? And they
That
said,
was
like,
teasing it.
what is it on Elbaf? Is it on Fuller Lead, where Blackbeard is, does Shanks have it?
Yeah, there's so many different possibilities. Ever since they announced, ever since Oda like talked about the road poneglyphs, like people have been talking about. Okay, where's the fourth one?
Exactly.
So we still don't really know. It hasn't really given us too much info. I think somehow it has to tie back to what's going on with Vivi. Otherwise, what's going to end up happening is going to be two branching path like stories from here on out. Like one that we have to keep track of with Luffy, one we keep track of with Sabo,
Yeah.
unless they both like relate, somehow. Unless the fourth
Well,
poneglyph somehow has to do with that.
yeah, I think VV's with the revolutionaries. That makes sense.
Either revolutionaries or
Ah.
with the fleet, because
Oh, she could be with the fleet.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
that's a good
potentially.
point.
Because we
Yeah,
still know
could
at
be.
some point, right? At the end of Dressrosa, narrator did the whole ominous thing where he says, "In the future, the fleet will be responsible for like a crazy event or something." So
That's a good
it could be with the
point.
fleet. I think more than likely, though, yeah, probably with the revolutionaries, because they would be able to keep her safe.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then that would eventually tie us in with Dragon, right? Luffy meeting Dragon
right.
on the
That's
road.
gonna
Yeah.
happen.
So
I wonder
Yeah.
about Garp. Like, is Garp gonna say fuck it and just like go against the world government at some point?
I don't know about that one. I don't know. Do you think he would? He almost did.
What if Garp said fuck it and he goes against the world government and then Imu kills Garp?
Nah, that's fucked. That's fucked because that's how Luffy goes berserk. Then I think either Shanks.
Well, actually, Sakazuki kills Garp would be even darker.
Nah, all right. Sakazuki will actually die. Like, he will be perished by Luffy if that happens, like, completely. So I think there needs to be another major death for Luffy to like
Probably
unlock the
multiple
next
major
stage.
deaths.
Yeah, like one of those. I think either Shanks, Sabo, or Garp would have to die in order for Luffy to like unlock that like next stage, if there is even a next stage. Like, do you guys think there will be a further form, or do you think 5 is the peak?
I hope 5 is the peak.
I don't know what Gear 6 would even be at this point.
Yeah.
I think like Oda just said in the interviews, right? Like he's been waiting to draw this for a long time. I think, if anything, just expanding on this.
Because this ability,
yeah.
like, he can literally do anything he wants. Like, the limits of Gear 5 is his imagination. So he can basically do whatever he wants with this ability.
Yeah, if anything, is being able to control it. Like we still don't know drawbacks. We still don't know is he able? Is it something that he can do now from now on, or is this a one-time thing that he has to unlock again or something?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I think in terms of the end game though, Blackbeard's gonna play the biggest role.
Surely.
Yeah,
What about
and
Buggy? It's Buggy as well.
well,
What's he,
yeah,
what's he doing? You know?
yeah, Buggy.
Buggy will
That's an
probably end up
interesting one.
helping Luffy in some way, I think. I don't know.
Well, we know Buggy and Shanks are gonna make it to Raftel at some point because they've already, they've made that promise.
True.
So
They're gonna
That's
fight.
a good point.
yeah, they'll team up or something. I don't know.
Oh my
I
god,
don't know how
man.
it's gonna happen. Yeah.
Please.
I wonder
no.
what Shanks' reaction would have been to seeing the newspapers about Buggy dubbed as a
Oh, I
Yonko.
wish I wish they showed that.
Yeah.
I wish they had showed because he'd been like, all right, this is kind of fucked.
Shanks would be like, what the hell is this shit?
This guy sucks. This guy fucking stinks. Oh my god. All right. Boris, have you been reading anything else, watching anything else, catching up with anything else in that front?
I've been watching a little bit of anime. There's like a Tuesday watch party I do with some friends. Kind of go through different animes. Haikyuu was one that we recently watched. That one was
go.
had some really good moments. Kind of reminded me of One Piece in that there's a lot of different characters, but they're each kind of like fleshed. Each character feels like an individual character.
Correct.
So character writing in that show is great.
Yep.
But it's definitely one that I don't think I'll go and rewatch it anytime soon. But it was a great first watch through. Had some really epic moments. And I think I might check out the manga to see. I don't think the anime's finished.
It's amazing. Like I've read it. I love Haikyuu's like got to be up there with one of my favorite like stories. It's just so well done, and like you said, all the characters are just so well designed that you actually like you feel like you learn a lot about them. And I think it's just such a
think
fun
about it.
show.
There's so many teams, and each character on each team feels different. I was like, wow, like
it's very
so good.
Props to the author because like it's a tough job to do.
And then I'd say just Hunter x Hunter, waiting on that. Excited for it to come back.
Oh, true.
The tweets, the secretive tweets.
I'm liking most of them. Every time I see one, I'll just like it. So gotta encourage him. I know like he's still going through some major pain. But just cool to see him coming out with some more stuff. So yeah.
Nice. But what about the rest of the gang? What's everyone else up to? What's everyone else been watching? How's life? You usually do this at the start of the show, but what's everyone else been up to?
I haven't actually been watching a lot of stuff. I mean, still watching One Piece every week. I'm quite a few episodes behind on Spy Family. I need to catch up on that. Carissa introduced Doctor Who to me because I'd never watched it before, and she's like, "Oh yeah, we'll watch Doctor Who," and it's actually like not as bad as I thought. I thought it was like super cringe, not gonna lie, but it's actually not terrible. It's
like time travel and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
interesting.
I've never watched it, but I've heard it's interesting. Yeah.
There you go.
I don't know about the rest of the dudes.
Right. What about the rest of them? What Flame Night? What have you all been up to? What have you all been watching? What's been going on?
Okay.
Little ones.
Well, I just started reading Bleach again. Like I read Bleach like the first couple of arcs before, but I just quit, and then I just started reading it again because Thousand Year Blood War anime is gonna be coming out in like the fall. So I kind of want to get ready for that because I know like based off like the trailers that they have for it, it's gonna probably be really crazy. So that's gonna be pretty cool. And I always like was kind of into Bleach, but I never like sat down and like gave the full thing a go. So I feel like it'll be nice to finally give it a go. And then in terms of like watching, I haven't like watched it yet, but Made in Abyss season 2 like just started airing like a couple weeks ago, so I need to start watching those because I really liked the first season. That was a god anime.
There we go.
Yeah, the first season that was real good.
Good old Kevin.
It was weird because I didn't know like much about the series before watching it, and like when I watched it and like the final episode, I'm like, wait, that's it? We gotta wait for more episodes? Wait, what? This didn't get resolved? I didn't know it was gonna be a multi-season thing. I thought it was just like one season and done. But shit.
Right.
Is that an anime like only thing, or does that have a manga?
I'm not sure.
I'm not even sure. Let me see.
Okay.
Flame.
I've heard it's pretty good.
Flame always knows, unless he fell asleep again, which he probably did.
It's a manga.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
As a mangi.
Yep, I know. Yeah, people are talking a lot about it recently. So, you know what? I have been recommended. And like something I put on my list, an old one. It's Toriko. Apparently,
Yes, sir.
yeah, just because again, when I was talking to my friend, and he was like, just so much of Oda inspirations. A lot of it actually, you can tell like Toriko has kind of the same vibe as One Piece.
Yeah.
And so he was saying like it's if you like One Piece, you're gonna love Toriko. Pretty much, it's very similar in a sense. So yeah, it's just one series. I know the author has some past with him, right? That I think he was in jail and stuff. But apparently like he spent all that time and crafted this crazy series so I'm gonna go on that journey soon. I think go through the manga. I heard the anime is really bad though, so definitely the manga for that one.
Yeah,
I would
Have you
say read
guys
the manga.
read Toriko or no?
Nope.
I haven't read it. I've seen
I
it.
have.
Yeah, I haven't read it. Oh,
Okay.
there you go.
You
I've
recommend
read
it, Knight, or do you think it's a pass?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. There's like, so it's kind of like hunting like animals. It's sort of like Monster Hunter and then like cooking mama sort of thing. That's how I would describe it,
That's
but it's like
interesting.
really cool. It's
Okay.
really cool.
Pretty
Yeah.
much the way you're saying is that if I like Marineford, then there's this arc at the end where it's like it's pretty up there in terms of uh everything crazy happening or something all at once.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm excited
Yeah.
to get on that. Yeah.
Interesting.
There you go.
Damn.
What have I been doing?
Hmm.
Fucking nothing. Now I started watching. Yeah, I don't know. I've been watching Classroom of the Elite. That's been pretty interesting. Otherwise, this season doesn't have a lot of good shows as far as I'm concerned. Nothing that like really caught my eye this season. So I might go back and watch something off the watch list. But I've been doing that. I started watching Suits as well.
Oh, yeah, that's I've watched the first couple episodes of that.
It's really like just right up my alley. Like it's just really good. I've enjoyed. I've watched like 3.5 seasons now, something like that. And
It's like
just been,
pretty like there's like heaps of episodes, right?
yeah, it's like 8 seasons long. Every season has like 12 to 16 episodes, something like that. So it's
Damn, all right.
a lot, and every episode's like 40 minutes long. So it's really good. It can be a bit cheesy at times, but I feel like that's kind of its charm. And it's like it's super unrealistic. Like they'll get into it. They'll get into like a case with someone, and then they'll like, oh, their back's against the wall. And then just happens they'll find this random piece of evidence that this guy played on the same rugby team as this guy, and therefore they have a connection, and we can take him to jail. And he was like, what the fuck? Like, come on, man. That doesn't make no sense. But if you step aside from that and like you just assume it's not meant to be realistic, then it's a really good show. So I would highly
just take it for what it is. Don't-
exactly right.
yeah.
You know, you're not gonna sit there and be like, "Oh, the law doesn't work like that." But, like, they don't give a shit. It's the fake world. Like it's not. Michael Phelps pulled up in an episode that I recently watched. I was
what
like, "What the fuck are you doing, man?"
Wow.
Like this is an older show. It's like made like in 2013, 20. I don't know. Like
Right.
it's a little older. But yeah, I was like, I had to pause it and I was like, type in Michael Phelps in Suits. And it's like, yeah, that's him. And I'm like, what the hell? It's like, I was so confused. But no, it's been really enjoyable to watch. So like, this is like the first non-anime TV show I've watched since Breaking Bad, I think. So
Classic.
Okay.
it's been a long time since I've watched like a non-anime TV show.
Mhm.
Oh, you know what I watched recently? I
What's
watched my first K-drama actually.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What'd
You
you
know
watch?
what's crazy about him? It's called 2125. It's an interesting series. Like the first half of the series has drama, and then the second half has almost no drama. So
Damn.
it was an interesting experience. But those episodes are like crazy. They're like an hour and a half episodes.
It's just a movie.
It's pretty insane.
It's a
Yeah, it's like a
movie
movie. Yeah,
every
each episode's like a movie. Yeah, it's kinda
16
ridiculous.
episodes? Oh my god.
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, but my friends got me into it. We were doing like a watch party and stuff every
Yeah.
few weeks. So it's kind of cool watching it with friends. But yeah, maybe I might check out some other ones. Heard there's some pretty
Yeah.
good ones.
My friends,
But
yeah.
you're talking about like IRL, like non-anime stuff. I know like I've been seeing The Boys a lot on Twitter.
Oh, classic.
So I might need to check that out.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Maybe about time I get into Breaking Bad and Stranger Things.
Yeah,
you know?
please watch
So-
Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad is
Yeah.
genuinely Breaking Bad's a masterpiece. Like it's just so good. It's just incredible. Like it's so good.
Amazing.
Have you seen
so
Better
that's what I'm
Call
thinking.
Saul
I
yet?
haven't, but I really
Yeah,
should
same.
now. So supposedly Better Call
Yeah.
Saul is also like just as good, if not better, at times as well, is what I've heard, which is insane to
Mhm.
think about. You know, because I think like Better Call Saul is like ending soon, and when it's ending, it basically rolls into the start of Breaking Bad, more or less. So you
Oh,
can kind of
interesting.
like
Okay, yeah.
so you
So
can
wait,
kind
Better
of
Call Saul is like based before.
before Breaking
prequel.
Bad, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
okay.
So you can kind of watch Better Call Saul and then roll straight into Breaking Bad as well, because
Right.
it's like a prequel kind of thing. At least that's what my friends told me, that like the way that Better Call Saul is going to end is like just before the events of Breaking Bad start. So you
Okay.
kind of watch it as a prequel into Breaking Bad. So that's an idea for you. Love that.
I have another show.
Okay.
I watched it like a couple months ago. It's called The IT Crowd. It's on
Oh
Netflix. It's
yeah,
a
yeah.
British sitcom. That show is
It's right up.
underrated. It's so funny.
It is
I would
funny.
definitely recommend it.
Very. That's right up our alley. That's right up mine. I should watch that. I've been told to watch that a lot, and I just never watched it. So that's a good idea. Actually, I'm gonna add that. I don't know.
Actually,
I just haven't watched a lot of like non-anime shows, and I feel like I need to like catch up, I guess, a little bit and start watching.
actually, something I just remembered now is
What's up?
that there was a very important release throughout the week.
Oh, what was it?
The video game Stray.
Oh yeah, Night.
Yes, sir.
Night's
Yes,
favorite
sir.
game.
Dude, I've been playing it. It's so
is.
good.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing. Yeah, what do you think,
What's
Knight?
it? What's it about? Give us the lowdown, Night.
All right. So it's basically. I don't want to go like too deep into it, just in
Yeah.
case like other people want to play it for sure.
Of
But
course.
basically, you start as like there's a group of cats, and you're just walking around chilling and stuff, and then the cat that you play as like falls, and then you end up in this abandoned city,
Yep.
and then
You're trying to get back to
it's
your
just yeah, you're basically trying to get back with the other cats, but there's like these little alien things or that are like around and stuff, and then you end up finding out that the alien things like are killing everything, and there's
Yeah.
like robots, and all the robots are trying to go back to where you were, and you're trying to go back to where you were, but no one knows how to get there, and there's like people that have been trying to plan how to get back to the like outside world, and everyone's like all depressed and stuff, but there's like a lot of platforming, and it's an adventure like platformer game, and
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just fun playing as like a cat and just
Yeah.
walking around and jumping
so
in on
unique.
shit. Yeah, really fun game.
There you go.
Very good
Are there
stuff.
any other games been announced, released? Don't think so, really. I
don't
want to do one special announcement.
Yeah.
OPTC has a new ship in the game, guys.
Hey,
Oh, let's go.
Oh,
I
Finally.
saw that actually. Yeah, I did see that.
It's been almost 2 years since a new ship released. That was all I wanted to say
Hopefully
about
mean-
Treasure Cruise.
Hopefully, it means that they've got more plans to add more ships soon. Then.
Fingers
That'd be nice.
crossed. We'll talk
Yeah.
about all that stuff in the next episode.
Yeah.
Because we don't need to. But I thought that deserved its little special announcement because, you know, it's a pretty momentous occasion to have a new ship in the game.
Well,
After-
what was the last ship that we could get? It was Aura Jackson, right?
Or Jackson from.
Oh no,
literally-
it was the Capone ship because that came out right after that.
It's like May of like last year or the
No, it
year
was-
before, something like that.
February of last year.
Alright, that's disgusting.
Yeah, so a year and a half.
It's actually a year and a half for one single ship to be added to the game. And it's not that bad of a ship, actually. It's pretty good.
It's good. It's good.
It'll replace the hose ship when you're just farming regular content, which is good. Alright, that's it, I think. In everyone's
Yep.
favorite section, it's the YouTube members. See how I twisted at night. There you go. It's a new one for you. So, as per usual, we want to thank you guys for supporting the show. You know, what you can do is if you want to go support us, you can go down there, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Then also next to the subscribe button, there's a join button there. and you can hit that and join. We have a bunch of different tiers at a bunch of different price ranges. By no means should you feel obligated to do so, but it does help us out a great deal and allows us to make the show better and better. So I want to give a shout out to our good members of Rioan, Stump, Dave the Inhuman, Raider Halo, and Dr. Erection, our great members of My Drunken Monkey, Cody and Void Seeker, our perfect member of Kisa, and our 4 GGP producers, the Lord Shiro, Alex Wisniewski, Portuguese Sosa, and Omni. Thank you guys so much for your consistent support on the show. We greatly appreciate it. Now, from everyone's favorite section into their actual favorite section, it's the Q&A. As per usual, you can send us in questions via @GGP Podcast on Twitter or our YouTube community tab. First question comes in from @Obsidian_Steed_. Is there a One Piece character that you didn't like but now started to? Is there someone you did like but now you started to hate?
Interesting.
Put that question out to everyone there.
I mean, I can go first because
Go for
Oh
it.
yeah, you can go.
yeah, I know. For the second one, definitely Usopp was my favorite Straw Hat for a long time.
Oh no.
Just because he was like he felt relatable, like he was like the kind of like the human on the crew. I think over time though, like his thing kind of just got really old on me, and then kind of just started going down on the ranks.
I feel that.
I still like him as a character, but definitely I probably put him in my lower half of the Straw Hats now.
There you go.
And then opposite of that, Brooke. I think everybody's, I think Brooke's gone up on everybody's list.
Oh, big time.
Right, that was what I was gonna say. I didn't like
Yeah.
Brooke when he first was introduced into the story, but like Whole Cake Island was a big turning point.
Big clutch for that guy.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of reactions. People like watching One Piece for the first time recently, and same thing. Like when Brooke first revealed, like they're like, oh, okay, it's kind of cool, and his gag is whatever. But then, yeah, I think once they get to the new world and they get to Whole Cake Island and beyond, just Brooke just always impresses. It's pretty crazy, actually.
I'd agree. I'd agree with that as well. With the rest of the gang.
That's interesting because mine's is like kind of the opposite.
Oh, okay.
For me, like I feel like I like Brooke, like especially with the whole cake stuff and what he's been doing besides that. But I feel like it's just the gag thing for me. It's just I don't know. I just feel like it's like outplayed. I feel like the other Straw Hats have a bit more like outside the gag, like as their like personality, whereas like Brooke like seems more focused on the gag. Like in terms of like action and like stuff like that, like Brooke's like amazing. But in terms of like actual like personality, I feel like Brooke's like one of my least favorite characters.
There you go. Right, what about, do you have one for the hated, you like to hate? Sorry, hate to like?
Yeah, I would say like Usopp, probably
okay, so
for
the
me.
opposite. Yeah, there you go. Straight polar opposites here. I don't know if I it's a tough question. What are we thinking? What am I thinking here? I don't think there's many characters I like. I think there's characters like I dislike, but none of them have gone from dislike to like. I would probably
there's not many that have changed.
Yeah, I would probably echo the Brook one a little bit. Like I think I'm like the middle ground between Boris and Knight. Like I think the Brook's like come up was amazing. I thought like his whole run in Whole Cake was incredible, and like just everything he did was super was just awesome. But I do echo Knight's kind of sentiment as well, and it's like it kind of just gets old after a while and no longer that funny really. So I think I'd be like the middle ground there.
What about like non-Straw Hats?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think about that.
Yeah,
I don't know if there are any characters that are non-Straw Hats that I like liked and hate, or hate and like.
I don't know. Like my opinions haven't really changed. Like if I liked them when I first got introduced, I kind of still like them, and if I didn't like them, I still don't like them.
Yeah, I think so.
Same, kind of like Caesar. Like Caesar grew a lot, with the crew over the few arcs, but still not really.
I
Personally, I'm
fucking
still not
hate
a big
Caesar.
fan.
Yeah, still don't
Yeah,
like
exactly.
him either.
Yeah,
I still don't
don't
like
really
him.
care.
No matter how much he's done.
What?
Or
Caesar's the goat.
No, he's not.
Gastino?
Gastino. Shut up talking to me about Gastino, man.
I think maybe like Dofi, because when Dofi first was introduced,
Yeah,
we didn't know much
actually.
about him. He was kind of like a weird character, but then
Yeah.
like in Dressrosa, like you can respect how much of a villain he is, but I think as a character, he's a very good character.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think that's what they try to do with Bellamy. I think like this question is very
Nah,
much
he still
loaded towards.
sucks.
No, he still sucks ass, but like I feel like that whole intention was like make Bellamy the bad guy, then try to make him into the good guy, like nice guy. I think that was the whole intention, is to kind of fall into that kind of suit.
Yeah.
But no, I do think you're right, Todd. Like when I have my opinion of a character, they're kind of just like set in stone, and it's really they have to do a lot to like sway one way or the other. So
I guess
alright.
for me, the only one I can really think of is Kinemon, because I didn't really care about him
Yeah.
too much in the beginning. I felt at least by the end of Wano, like at least I felt like okay, like he's kind of cool. Like I can kind of see
Yep.
him, you know, and
More
what he's going
respect
through and
for him.
everything.
Yeah, way more
Yeah,
respect for
still
him.
not like one of my
Oh.
favorites, but you didn't really care for him too much early on, and now it's
There's another
definitely.
one that I can think of actually, is when they first introduced Judge. I thought Judge was a really cool character, but then like when we saw like the backstory of
Piece
like
of
what
shit.
happened, he's like an absolute
Yeah.
dick.
He's
Yeah.
a piece of trash. Is
Oh
what
yeah,
he is.
I think people went through that this week, right, with Green Bull. Like everyone was like hyping him up, like oh,
Right,
like
and he's a dick rider
yeah,
for the
yeah.
Marines.
He's a
in the-
dick
in the
rider
government.
for the Marine. That's
He
so.
is.
Yeah,
And the
he
Celestial
really
Dragon.
is.
Then he's
He's
talking
like-
about segregation, all this stuff. Yeah.
My brothers, him and
I
Zoro
guess-
are gonna have a racism fight. You know, man, talk about segregation. That's fucking
Zora's dad
crazy.
confirmed.
Hey yo,
Right.
hold on. You never know. Probably not.
God.
All right.
I guess the character non-straw hat that was like hate to like was Buggy. Like when I first started One Piece, I didn't really care for like Buggy, but like when we saw him in Impel Down and stuff, I started
Yeah,
liking him.
clutched up.
That's a good point. Yeah. I'm
I
with
guess
you on that.
I guess Mr. Was it Mr. Two? Sorry, or what his name
Yeah,
is?
Mr.
Three,
Two.
whatever it is. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
I guess he kind of
Yeah,
follows the
3.
same sentiment, I suppose, as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the whole I think the whole Impel Down thing kind of like swung it a little bit too, so which is good. Kind of needs to, so that's good. All right, next question from @RedHaloGaming. He asks, "Hey dudes, got some she's a 10 questions for you." All right, here we go. She's a 10, but doesn't like Zoro.
That's crazy.
What is she at? What is she now? I think she's a 10, but doesn't like Zoro. She's a 4. She can get fucked. Yeah.
Nah. Not
Yeah.
on my radar no more.
What? She was
Yeah.
on the radar. I was like, well, you were disagreeing with me. I was like, oh my days. All right. She's a 10, but constantly talks during a movie.
Oh, that is the worst.
It's a 2
That's a
L's.
0.
Talking during the movie. I mean, I get, like, especially not in a movie theater.
Right.
Yeah, like if you're at home or something, then
That's still annoying though,
bad.
because like I want to see
Yeah.
like what the hell's going on in this movie. Like I want to pay attention to like the story and the characters. And it's like, oh, you just get distracted and then you lose track of what's going on. It's the worst. I hate
Not
it.
fun.
I hate
Take
it a
it
lot.
back. It depends on the movie. Like if it's like a new movie for like both of us, then like yeah, I would probably give her like a lower score. But if it's like a movie that we're like making fun of, like I feel like
Right.
that's more appropriate. Yeah, but
Like
since it's,
hypothetically, like you're
talk,
watching
yeah.
like Inception or like
Oh
one
yeah,
of the
you gotta
Batman
shut up.
movies.
You gotta be quiet in that film. That's for sure. You ain't
Yeah.
talking none of that.
I mean, like brief discussions on downtime is like not a problem, but
Correct.
like when it comes down
Yeah.
to it, like I'd like to watch the film.
The
yeah, I know
whole
people who like to
film-
like they like to crack jokes like at any point like they can during the movie. And I'm like, no, just let me watch the movie.
That's
Right?
me. That's me
Yeah.
during like those shit comedies. I'm like,
Yeah,
I
that's
gotta get it. I
acceptable.
gotta get in there.
Oh,
I
yeah.
gotta get in. I gotta get some bonus points. And the last one Red Halo has for us. She's a 10, but says Elon Musk is her celebrity crush. That's a 12. That's 12, baby.
Yeah.
She can go get that Elon Musk money and then come right back to me. No stress, baby. No, that's a 0. Fuck that guy.
Sheesh.
Elon Musk, look, man. Him as a human being, dumbass. His brain, fucking genius. And that annoys me. That his brain is in that shell, that's not okay. It's not fair.
Yeah, it's such a weird duality, right? Like,
he's so
yeah.
smart. He's so intelligent.
yeah,
But it's just such a weird. It is just weird how he communicates with everything. So
He's a strange individual, that one.
big time.
Yeah.
All right. Next question from @TwitchManiac. There you go. He asks, Damn the OG. Last time I talked with him, wasn't he going to Japan? How was Japan? Does he still have the Goofy and the Chopper and Goofy hats? How are the hats going? It's a great question.
Yeah, I think actually if you look at the picture I took with Roger,
You are
I
you
have
are
the
wearing
Goofy hat
Yeah.
on.
you are wearing
Sorry,
one of
the
them, I
chopper
think.
hat on. Yeah, the Goofy hat somewhere. Yeah, I still have it somewhere.
You gotta have the
Um,
Goofy hat, man.
I was
It's
watching King Recon, one of my old friends, react to this recent chapter, and he had to bring out the triple Santa hat. So usually
my
he'll
days.
he'll bring out the Santa hat for if it's a hype chapter. You have to bring out all three of his Santa hats and just put them all on at the same time. Yeah, because it was that hype. So yeah.
There we go. They'll stay there, man. The hats are Boris is forever known by the Goofy hat. You never forget it.
Classic.
Classic hat.
Yeah, he has to wear it into work one day.
Yeah. pull up to the office just
Oh,
wearing the
I
Goofy
thought today
hat.
was Disney Day. What's going on?
Oh, that'd be so good. All right. Next question. Oh, here we go. From @Portuguese_Sosa. Get ready for this one, Boris. This guy's a nutcase. Okay, guys, this week, would you rather eat an ice cream sandwich, but instead of ice cream, it's mayo, or a frozen clam chowder popsicle? Like always, you guys do a phenomenal job. Keep up the good work. Ice cream sandwich, but mayo, or a frozen clam chowder popsicle?
Mayo sandwich for sure.
The
Yeah, especially if it's
popsicle.
that Japanese mayo. Japanese
Yeah,
mayo
give me
is
some
actually pretty
Kewpie mayo
good.
sandwich. I'll bink it. No stress.
Dude, I was eating pizza in Japan's way different. By the way,
Yeah.
so like you almost never see pepperoni pizza. Like that's not
Yeah,
really a thing.
that's true.
I would always get like the mayo on my pizza, and people are like mayo, but no, it's like it's way different from what the mayo here in the U.S. It's like way different. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, they love mayo over there.
Yeah, you just put it on anything. It's
Because the
Like I
mayo is
remember
actually
we bought
delicious.
instant noodles. We bought instant noodles and there was a sachet of mayonnaise in the instant noodles. Like we were like, what the hell?
yeah,
No, but like that shit, like Kewpie mayo though is actually like the mayo that we eat like here in Australia or in the US is disgusting in comparison to Kewpie mayo though. Like Kewpie
I'd
mayo is
agree.
actually delicious.
yeah.
I
I
don't
miss it.
think
It's
I
one of
ever
the
had
things I
that.
miss.
Go.
Hmm?
One of you go. Go, Knight. What are you saying?
Oh, I was just saying, I don't think I ever had the Japanese mayo.
You need to go get some add that to the list as well. I know you've been
Okay, yeah.
I know you've been so Boris for your
Adventurous.
for your FYI, Boris, we did like a food tier list episode like two episodes ago or whatever, or like the last episodes like that. And basically everything that Knight hadn't eaten, we made him write down a list, and now he's just been going through
Oh,
eating
okay.
everything. So he has to add the Kewpie
Oh,
mayo
wow.
to the list now. So
Have you tried anything on the list so far?
Yeah, there was chicken shawarma, and that was like
Oh,
one
that's
of the
really
first
good.
things. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
crazy.
What was that thing that I ate in what were they called? The little chocolate things? The biscuits, you call
Oh,
them,
Tim
right?
Tams.
Oh, Tim Tams.
Tim Tams, yeah, actually, yeah, dude, in Japan, I don't think I told anyone. This is one of the things I would go and get like every week. I restock on my Tim Tams.
Hell yeah.
The Tim Tams.
Yeah,
let's go.
they were so good. Yeah, and they had them there. They had a
That's
I forget
surprising.
what the name of the store was, but they have like an import store that's pretty popular.
Oh.
It's like a small little thing, and they have it inside a lot of the train stations. So one of the ones that I worked with had it. So after work, I would stop by and I just pick up some Tim Tams, and I would just
Oh,
eat them
hell
throughout
yeah.
the week. Yeah, oh, it was so good. It was like one of the things I look forward to. So
Let's go.
That's
All right. Next question from Omni. Hey guys, question for Boris. Was there like an artist alley section at AX, and if so, what was the coolest pieces you saw?
yeah. And it was a huge there was I don't know how many, but there were essentially it was divided into row like A, B, C,
Yeah.
D. Each one was like and like each row had like 4 different sections. So it was crazy big. So one of the things that seems to be popular at the moment that I didn't know about was these the backpacks that you can put pins on. So it's a backpack with like a clear back, and you can open the back and put pins in.
Oh,
And so people will customize it and build like whole backpacks themed based on specific pin series. So like my friend Rose, he was working on a Kingdom Hearts one with the trio, which is Axel, Roxas, and Shion. So he was trying to pick up as many pins as possible to build his new backpack that's themed on that. It's actually super cool. I didn't know anything about that, so maybe next time I'm going to go ahead and pick up a backpack myself. Maybe build my own. Gotta decide on a theme. So those pins were
Good
very
idea.
popular. There were some really cool pins from what's the game? Yakuza.
Oh
yeah.
And you could
Oh,
they actually
okay.
yeah, spinnable pins. So you get like it would spin. It was actually super cool. I never seen a pin like that. There were obviously a lot of artwork, a lot of Genshin. Like it was like half Genshin really.
It's half Genshin. Literally, it's half
Yeah.
Genshin, isn't it?
Yeah, half Genshin, half anime. I personally picked up. I couldn't find any Among Us stuff actually. I
Oh
was actually
no.
looking for some Among Us stuff, but from what I heard, apparently, like the developers don't like when people make Among Us things. I think maybe
Yeah.
that's why there wasn't
Yeah.
so much stuff. But I did manage to find a little keychain, so that was cool. And then
Yeah.
a lot of stickers as well. Stickers were really popular.
Mhm.
There's apparently a really big scene for.
This, I need to get into the sticker market. There's so much money to be made off stickers. It's not even funny.
Yep.
Like, we need to figure out how we're gonna do this because we need to make some money from stickers. Because goddamn, there's a big market for stickers. Like, it's
That's actually pretty surprising.
so much money is made from stickers. It's crazy.
What
Yeah,
people
the
even,
quality is
like-
important. Like there has to be like the good
Yeah, yeah.
stock for the
Yeah.
sticker. Otherwise, it'll peel off or something like that. Yeah, they
It's
were
just
explaining the
so
whole thing to me.
crazy. It's like
Like,
ridiculous.
what do people put these stickers on?
I don't know, just like I guess like
What, they just
laptops,
collect
They do,
or
like, on
phones,
books
or
and stuff.
books,
Like, they don't
yeah.
even build them; they just collect them, maybe.
Sometimes they do that, but I know
Yeah.
like people like will put them on like their laptops or their PCs or like on their phones or like they'll put them on like, as I think Knight said, like books or like that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But like it was like it was ridiculous. Like even at Smash, like people will walk. I had friends and she bought like she's like 50 stickers. I was like, you dumbass. I was like, you've spent so much goddamn money on stickers. They're just gonna be thinking, I'm like, how do I get into the sticker game? Because like there's a lot of money to be made from stickers. Like,
Dude,
a
and they
lot of
sell out.
money.
Like there'll be like
do.
stickers that you want, and they'll sell out, and you have to wait for them to make like a second round, or like you missed it, and you gotta like get on a secondary market. It's pretty crazy. Yeah.
I might illegally sell the Treasure Cruise characters as stickers. Hold on. that might be the play. That might be the play. No, I'm kidding. Unless. But so did you buy anything else? Did you pick anything else up from the artist alley?
From the artist alley, not really. Like I said, it was really hot. And so I tried to actually avoid the artist alley as much as possible. I was planning to pick up one of the guys from the One Piece podcast. Steve, I believe is his name. He had this really cool acrylic stand with like Big Mom and Kaido versus the supernovas. And
wow.
I couldn't find a stand on the first day, and I should have just looked it up. So I went back on the second day, and he had sold out already on that. So
No.
that was the one thing that I was
Dang.
planning to pick up, but I didn't, unfortunately. So
I feel that.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff. Again, I'm just personally not into the whole sticker thing, and I'm not really into pins. I'm not really into prints or anything like that.
Yeah.
But maybe next time, like I said, I might actually build my own little backpack, my themed backpack, and do like a One Piece one or something. So
Yeah, why not?
yeah, they're actually
Good.
pretty cool. I didn't even know about them, so now I
There
know.
you go. There you go. And we'll end it off with the final question, as per usual, from Cody, CS Wins. Hey guys, and a welcome back to Boris. And as always, thank you so much for the work that you do. It's been a busy week for me, right in the middle of harvest season, so we're stocking up on hay for the winter months and other life things, but I can't leave the crew without some food questions. So Cody's a farmer? Cody is a farmer that eats peanut butter burgers. I don't know how that works.
Real
but,
rice farmer.
Yeah,
he's a real
that's cool.
true rice farmer. What would each of you say is your favorite type of ice cream? For him, he says, I'm a choc chip cookie dough kind of guy. What's your favorite type of ice cream, Boris?
I love brownie, so anything with brownie in it is pretty good.
Ooh, nice.
So I know
Oh.
I really like I don't know if this counts as ice cream, but I like the Dairy Queen Blizzards. I've been
Nice.
eating those since I was a kid. And then recently I got into the custards, frozen custards from Culver's. I don't know if you guys know that
Yes,
restaurant.
sir.
Yeah, it's like
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, it's like my favorite. It's my favorite thing now. So yeah, any kind of chocolate ice cream with like brownie, raspberry, that kind of thing is pretty good.
Delicious.
Yeah, chocolate's always been my go-to. Just like anything with chocolate is usually pretty good. Though I hate mint flavored stuff.
Oh,
Mint
dude,
is
I'm
good.
the same. I can't do mint. I know people love it, but I just can't do mint.
No, not for me.
There we go.
I don't want to be brushing my teeth when I'm eating ice cream. That's what
There
it
we
tastes
go.
like.
Knight, what about you?
Yeah, I'd probably agree with Boris and Cody, like in between of like brownie or like cookie dough. Those are
Mm.
like the goats.
I'm a sorbet guy. I like the
Ooh.
fruit. I like the
Okay.
fruit flavor stuff, like passion fruit, mango, like blood orange. Blood orange is a sleeper, is what I'll say. Hop on that blood orange
Interesting.
Okay.
sorbet. Like
You
it's
like the tangy
delicious.
stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I always like whenever we like buy fruit. Like all my family likes sweet, but whenever like if mum buys oranges, for example, and they're sour, she'll just give them all to me. So I'll just be like macking on oranges all day because like I really like I really do like the like the tangy kind of flavor for sure, like the sourness of it for some reason. So that's me.
My go-to like sweet thing though recently has been the boba tea. There's a bunch of
Mm.
places around me. I don't know if you guys have that. Is it popular in like Melbourne
Yeah,
or
Yeah,
wherever
big
you're?
time, big popular.
Okay.
there's
Yeah.
heaps of places with it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've been really into that recently. Although I need to be careful, right? Trying to cut down my sugars. So.
So what's your
Yeah.
what's your boba order? What's your go to?
I'm actually not a big fan of the actual boba pearls. Usually
Mm.
I like the jelly, like the grass jellies, or like
Yep.
the popping bubbles, like the mango popping bubbles, and then I'll usually go with like a either a traditional just a regular milk tea or like a roasted oolong tea,
Nice.
and
Shout out
then
Oolong.
also shout out roasted oolong, and
Literally
then
shout out Oolong.
and then sometimes I get like they have like a special kind of thing. I know what's Kung Fu Tea has like they do like collabs all the time with did like a collab I know with not Genshin, but what's the other game that they do?
I was like Honkai. Was it Hon? No, it
Honkai,
wasn't. Yeah, it
yeah,
was
yeah,
Honkai.
they
Yeah,
did like Honkai drinks and things like that. They're always doing collabs, so sometimes I grab that. And then
delicious.
also Oreo. I'm a huge Oreo fan, so anytime
Nice.
I have can pick that as a topping, I'll do that.
Delicious. No, I agree
Okay.
though. I love boba, but nah, the sugar man. I always try to get
Yeah,
no sugar.
I'm putting it down to like 30% sugar now because it's
At this
too
point, I
much.
just go no sugar because I'm just like, if I keep doing it, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna get fat. I'm gonna get fatter.
I'm gonna die.
I'm gonna
Diabetes, man. You're
die.
gonna get diabetes. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It might be time. Just risk it all. You know, who
I want
knows,
to
right?
add boba to the list. What is it like? Is like I heard the milk tea part. Is it just like a milk tea? But you
Literally
also
just
said
milk
there was
tea,
like
yeah.
a
And there's
mango
like,
flavor
yeah, they're called
and
like
stuff like
they're
that.
like toppings. So you can when you go there, like the most generic topping is like tapioca pearls. That's kind of
Okay.
like that's kind of like what the boba like kind of. I think that's like where it kind of comes
Yeah,
from.
yep.
But then like as Boris said, like you can like most places these days will offer you like a bunch of other like kind of toppings to put with the tea. So there's like jellies, there's like popping pearls, there's like you can get like sometimes you can put like cream on top of it too. You can get like grass jelly, you can get like I've had like brown sugar jelly was there as well. Like
Okay.
there's a lot of variety in terms of like the base drink is like a tea or it's like a fruity kind of drink. You can get it like and then you can kind of pick your like how much ice is in there and how much sugar's in there, and you can also pick like the toppings, like what's placed inside of it whilst you drink. So it's
And
a
usually it's cold, but like
Yeah.
I actually tried a hot one recently and it was actually really good. So if you're in
Yeah,
the
then
mood for a
Okay.
hot drink, you can try that as well.
the warm teas for like the cold days and stuff like that was always super good during
Yeah.
uni. So I enjoyed that. But no, you can try that out. Like the generic ones is like you can get like a like the standard would probably just be like a milk tea with pearls. So you just go in, and I think most places will have like the stock standard like milk tea with pearls. Like that's kind of just like the generic go-to. But then there's like such a variety of teas and fruit drinks, and then such a variety of toppings too. So like the combinations are like seamlessly endless, more or less. So it's good. You should add it to the list.
Okay.
I expect a comprehensive review at some point.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of like Asian restaurants that like sell
Yeah, totally.
boba tea near me, so I definitely can like check it out pretty soon. But yeah, I've always been curious about it.
All right, Knight's gonna come back next week or next episode with the review. All right, next
Right.
part. If you could only have one type of potato chip for the rest of your life, what would it be? For him, it's all dressed.
Wait, what's
Also-
that? All dressed?
I think
Yeah,
it's
what's
a
that?
Canadian It's a Canadian flavor, I think.
All dressed chips.
All
Hmm.
dressed chips is a
hell
popular
is that?
flavor. It describes a mixture of flavors of ketchup, barbecue sauce, and salt and vinegar. That's the combination of flavors
Okay.
for all dressed.
That sounds gross.
Yeah, I like the salt and vinegar chips. Those had always been my go-to.
I'm like
Really?
I'm like a sweet.
Yeah.
What is like? It's like a chili. What is it? What are they called, Todd? Like the sweet chili.
The sweet chili sour cream, the Red Rock Deli.
Yeah,
you
the Red
guys
Rock
know-
Deli sweet chili sour cream is like
Ooh,
actually
that's a good
like that's
choice.
banging. They're incredible. They're like the movie snack chip. You know, you go into the cinema. Ooh, it's hidden.
Also, that brand of honey sweet chicken chips are pretty
Oh,
good.
also cracking too. Too bad they're
Burger
like
rings, pretty
burger rings are
decent.
pretty decent. Twisties. I got back into Twisties recently. Remember
Ooh, yeah,
Twisties?
Twisties ain't bad.
Chicken Twisties. Ooh, bring back
I
the
love the
school
flaming
days.
hot Cheetos. They're pretty good.
Mm-hmm. My
Okay.
sister bought a
Mhm.
bunch.
I think Pringles are kind of overrated, to be honest.
Pringles because they like made the chip smaller. I do.
Yeah, they did.
They made the chip smaller. Like, come on, dog. That ain't it. Man.
Oh wait, Pringles? They made them
yeah.
smaller.
The actual
Oh,
like
damn.
chip surface area is smaller now.
Maybe
Oh,
in
wow.
Australia. Well, I
Yeah,
know
maybe it's an
specifically
Australian
in
one.
Well,
Australia,
I haven't had Pringles in a long time, so I could see that.
What
Yeah,
about
they
you?
reduce the size, but then they still they sell you for the same price or even more expensive, so they save profits.
It's kind of counterintuitive because their advertisement, I swear, used to be like, there's no air or like there's no like it's a full chip, whatever it is, and now it's like no, it's not anymore. It's you're the same as all of them.
Mm.
What about Boris? What's your favorite flavor of chip, or what's the one chip that you like if you had to pick one for the rest of your life?
Yeah,
what would it be?
and by chip again, just you mean like potato, like the crunchy chips, right?
Yeah,
Not like
yeah.
the fries.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, not sour cream, salt and vinegar. That's like been
Yeah, delicious.
my go-to for pretty much forever, essentially. Yeah, again, there's different types. Some are like pretty good. So if you get like the higher end, like the bougie kind of ones, those are really good. But
Big time.
yeah,
Perfect.
salt and vinegar for sure.
Night.
Interesting.
What are you thinking?
Nowadays, I'm more of a pickle flavored. Those go kind of crazy.
Huh?
Yeah, pickle's actually really good. Yeah, that's another really good
Yeah,
one.
The pickle flavored
Yeah.
chips go
Yeah, so
crazy.
good.
That's out of my wheelhouse there. You're wildin'. Pickle flavored chips?
No, bro,
I don't
you
know.
have to try it. Yeah.
It's like the
Alright,
same flavor profile. It's kind of like a sour kind of thing.
There you go. Maybe I gotta add that to my list. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Next question: which type of chips are better? Better than the original or wavy? I love them all, but if I had to pick, wavy kind of hits different. That's from Cody. So wavy chips or original? So like the crinkly ones or like the wavy one.
Oh.
What type of chip is the best to eat?
I found like crinkle cut chips actually to be really good. I feel
I
like they hold more
agree.
flavor.
I feel like the crinkliness of it adds more crunch to it, and it makes it. Which this sounds so just dumb, but it does make it taste a little better. It seems so. I'll
Yeah,
take the
whatever is
the
crunchier.
crunch.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
I
think
think the
it's
crinkle.
crunchier.
I think the crinkle makes it crunchier. IMO.
Yeah, that's fair.
This is a whole trip. This is a whole chip.
I mean, they're all good though.
yeah, exactly. Here you go, Todd. Doritos or Pringles? Cody goes with
Doritos,
Doritos. Yeah, I
110%.
I would have said Pringles, but now I'm full Dorito gang, like complete
Yeah,
Dorito gang.
cool Ranch Doritos. Ooh.
Oh, I haven't had those.
Even
I've
though,
heard
yeah,
about
Pringles
them.
has more
Wait,
variety.
you've never
of
had
flavors.
Cool Ranch
I don't
Doritos?
think I've ever had Cool Ranch Doritos.
We don't really have them, I
What?
don't think.
You have-
Really?
yeah, you
That's
have
like
to,
the
like-
that's like the standard here. It's like
You
the
have to
Cool
go to
Ranch.
like import like this like you have to go to like import stores or something like that. Like sometimes a lot of our Asian marts might have them, but I've never actively gone and purchased them to try them. But all right, I'll add that to my list as well. Then I'll go seek out some Cool Ranch Doritos since I've always
Dude,
heard
yeah, it'll
super
change your
positive
life, man.
things.
Yeah.
And the last one isn't really a question, just a recommendation to try flaming hot Cheetos if you have the chance. Probably the
Oh,
spiciest
yes.
type of chip / snack I've eaten in a while. You haven't had a bunch of them Japanese, them Chinese, those spicy
Wasabi
chips,
chips or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Or Takis.
Yeah, Duckies. Yeah. Much love as always, guys. And I have to say, Papi talking about his wing eating technique is podcast gold. I'm just saying, man. I'm a master of eating wings. Pause on that one. Special thanks to Wankerfell in the last episode with their blessing. I'd be happy to slap together a dessert tier list for you gents. Until next time, your boy Cody in Canada. Yep, bring it on. That tier list was great. We'll have as Michelin star chefs. I don't know if you knew, Boris, but we are all actually graded Michelin star chefs in this call. So I would be
okay.
Would be happy to
Yes.
We'd be happy to do a
Indeed.
dessert tier list at any time. But that does wrap it up.
Indeed.
I will pass the mantle to Boris. Boris, this is your chance. Speak your piece. What have you got going on? Shout out your social medias, do all that kind of fun stuff.
Hey, what's up? Just thanks again for having me on the podcast again. It's been a while, so it's cool to just catch up with everybody. I'm planning to. Well, I would like to eventually come back to doing videos and stuff. I think I'm just waiting for to find a game that really catches my my attention, specifically a One Piece game. So hopefully, I haven't heard of any new gachas or anything coming out, but if there is one in the future, you'll definitely see me trying to play it and maybe make some content.
Hey, they might reveal one today on the One Piece stream.
I know they've
Yeah,
just got in.
you never
They've
know.
just gotten into the bounty rush section here, so it happens, I suppose. Boris, for
Maybe
bounty rush.
I'll start playing Bounty Rush or something.
with
Maybe, but-
Nippity with Nip. It's time. Bring back
No,
Ann.
my boy Nadim,
Yeah,
Team
Nadim.
so, yeah.
No,
But
look
no, just
for-
thanks again for
go
having me,
it.
guys.
No,
And
of
you know,
course.
it's great.
We'd love
so.
having you on the show. It's always good chemistry. All of Boris's links down below. Look, you might as well subscribe to Boris if you haven't done so yet. He might release a video. You never
Maybe,
know.
yeah, maybe.
You don't want to miss out. That's the real question. You don't want to miss out. But yeah, that does wrap us up for today's episode. As per usual, if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you go down and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you're feeling a bit financially risky, you can hit that join button as well. It does help us out. A
Risky.
fantastic. The stock market's down. It's risky. It's risky plays here, but it does help us out a great deal. You can find us all of our social media links down below in the Linktree link. That is linktr.ee/GGP You can find us on a bunch of different platforms. The main ones being on Twitter at GGP Podcast and on anchor.fm/GGP where you can find us on other major listening platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts as well. If you enjoyed us as hosts or as individuals, make sure you go down to the description. You'll see Boris's link there. Make sure you go follow, subscribe to him. And for everyone else here, Flamevius, Nightmare JP, Toadski, and myself, Captain Papi, make sure you go follow and subscribe to all of us as well. With that being said, I've been Captain Papi, Boris, Flame, Knight, and Todd. Thank you for listening to another episode. Talk to you guys next time. Peace.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.